Shawnee Community College has allowed me to pursue a degree late in life.
Summer and fall registration is now open. Call today to make an appointment.
We're getting the ballpark ready for a cold matinee of Cardinal baseball with the new guys, David Eckstein, his double play partner, Mark Gruszelanek, and the big lefty, Mulder, against Roger Clemens today. It's a chilly one. You got to be tough to be at the ballpark on a day like this. How would you like to bat against Roger Clemens when it's maybe in the high 40s, maybe into the 50s? We're all bundled up for the Cardinals and the Astros after a crazy ball game here last night. Cards held on to win at 8-7. They're playing very well, second best record in the National League, and a great pitching matchup for this afternoon game. Bob Carpenter, Rick Horton, welcome to Cardinal Baseball. All right, Mr. Pitcher, is it a hitter's advantage or a pitcher's advantage on a day like this?
There's no doubt about it. It's a pitcher's advantage, as if these two guys need another advantage. Mulder and Clemens, two of the best in the National League. They opposed each other as all-star game starters last year, but the thing about a pitcher who throws on a day like today, pitch inside if you can, because it hurts those hands on those hitters.
Look at that, 329 wins. There's a 5.79 combination in the career for Roger Clemens. He's pitched in 5 World Series, 7 Cy Youngs, and 9 All-Star games. But the last time the Cardinals saw him, it was a pretty pleasant night here at Busch Stadium.
Yeah, they got the best of him in Game 7 last year, but rarely do they get the best of Clemens. He was 2-0 against the Cardinals last year, didn't give up many runs. He's only given up 1 run so far this year.
And we all know this is not the Cardinal offense that we will see throughout the season. What has happened so far? They're still batting in the 240 range, and a rather unexpected name is climbing up the Cardinal RBI chart, and that is So Taguchi, who breaks into the top 4. Well, we make it the top 5 because Roland's in there as well.
7 RBIs already for So Taguchi. Of course, a bench is an important part of a team. So Taguchi's done a great job of filling in. He's more known for his defense than he is for his offense, but he's really had some clutch hits early on. The guy we got to get rolling, though, is Larry Walker.
Yeah, Larry had the night off last night, and Tony La Russa told us today he's getting a little upset at the way his season is going. Maybe a little anger on that baseball will get Mr. Walker going, because we know how devastating he can be. So one thing about the Cardinals, the numbers are a lot better than they were a week ago today.
Well, they really struggled a week ago, and they've been hitting and they've been winning, and the pitching has been outstanding.
Cardinals and the Astros, a lot more coming up from Busch Stadium on a cold Saturday afternoon.
Time after time after time, your AAA insurance agent will come through for you. So bring the security of AAA home.
John Deere Buck ATVs for work, play, and everything in between. Pick a direction. Go.
Get the news most important to you weekends with Melanie Moon, WB11 News.
The best tire package in town? You'll find it at Dobbs. Our drive-away tire package includes everything you need. No extra charges. And it features one other small item, the best tire package price in town.
The drive-away tire package at Dobbs. Best price, no extra charges. It's Tire Safety Month at Dobbs. Get into Dobbs for a free tire inspection, free air gauge, plus bring in your teenager for a tire safety quiz. This month, only at Dobbs.
At some point in the evening, you may discover when the wee hours actually begin. Explore St. Louis. There's more than meets the arch. Call 1-800-888-FUN-1. fun one.
Welcome back to cold and blustery Busch Stadium on the day of a baseball game. Football weather breaks out. Jason Marquis, it's cold out here.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the cold side, but it's refreshing, you know, instead of getting all that heat and getting your body tired all the time. It sort of recharges you sometimes.
What a fine game you pitched yesterday. What a fine start to this season you've had. What's the secret so far? I think it's a breaking ball.
You know, it's just good mechanics. I think if you put yourself in a position where you're able to get on top and have the same arm slot every pitch, it doesn't matter what pitch you throw, and allows me to locate the ball better, keep the ball down in the zone better.
Is it my guess, or is Dave Duncan smiling more these days? I mean, everybody's throwing great.
Dave's always smiling. Dave's a great guy. I know he's helped my career and he's helped a lot of guys out, and you know, he helps us figure out what goes wrong, and you know, we got to go out there and do it.
Get into the heads of Mark Mulder and Roger Clemens today. Does it matter if you pitch when it's cold? Would you prefer it hot, most pitchers, or not?
You know, obviously you get loose a little bit quicker. You're able to stay loose, but I think, you know, it puts the hitter at a disadvantage also. You know, if you get in on them, they don't want to get jammed. They don't want their hands getting stung, and they might not take as aggressive hacks.
Now, this will be a fun one to watch today when you've got guys like Clemens and Mulder going, won't it?
Oh, without a doubt. When you got a Hall of Famer and an all-star on the mound pitching against each other, it should be a great matchup, and they both got great stuff, and hopefully the Cardinals come out on top.
Talk hitting with me briefly, Jason, because you swing the bat so well. I mean, in that 9 slot, when there are runners on, the opposing team can't take you for granted, and that's a huge plus.
Well, it's something that I've always prided myself on. It's something that we work on as a pitching staff every day, and you know, it can help you win ball games here and there. You know, I mean, you may be able to squeak out 1, 2, 3, or 4 wins, and that's what I try to do.
That was some bunt by Edmonds last night too, wasn't it?
Definitely. You know, when we're playing the shift on him and scores 0-0, 1-0, and we run us on to get some runs across the board, you know, we may not need his big bat. We got other big bats behind him.
Well, nice job last night. The Cardinals held on and won. Let's go get him today behind Mark Mulder, huh?
Definitely. I appreciate it.
Jason Marquis joining us. Good season so far for Jason. And when we return, we're going across the street to see how the new ballpark is shaping up. It's cold at Busch. We'll be back after this.
At Offenburg Chrysler in Heron and Cape, we're your minivan headquarters. Buy any new Grand Caravan or Town & Country with stow-and-go seating. Get a DVD player at no extra charge. Choose from over 35 Caravans starting at $19,900 or get 0% financing. Only at Offenburg Chrysler in Cape and Heron.
When you make a deposit at your bank, do you know where your money goes? At First Security State Bank, it stays here in the community, creating jobs, supporting small businesses, and providing resources for local families to build a better future. For personal service and helping neighbors realize their dreams, some things are best done locally. Stop by and see us at one of our 3 convenient locations, Caruthersville, Cardwell, or Hornersville, and learn what community banking can mean for you. Banking the way it should be, only at First Security State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We're driving down high prices. That's Ron Ward Chevy and Heron. A huge $2.6 million inventory of trucks, SUVs, sports cars, luxury sedans. At these prices, we have the other guys worried. 05 Chevy Cobalt LS was $348, now just $268. Or this 05 Chevy Silverado was $348, now a low $268. Huge inventory, huge savings. All backed by certified service.
Only at Ron Ward Chevrolet and Heron. Just down the road from high prices.
Wouldn't it be nice to keep an eye on things from anywhere? AVN. With a camera system from Audio Video Networking, you can put all your worries to rest. Audio. View live or record a video locally or remotely from any broadband connection. Video. Provide security for your employees as well as your business. So call today for your free consultation and see what AVN has to offer. Networking. Audio Video Networking. Technology made simple.
At Offenburg Chrysler in Heron and Cape, we're your new truck headquarters. Choose from over 75 new Dodge trucks, including Hemis, quad cabs, dualies, diesels, 2-wheel drives, 4-wheel drives, and more. Starting at just $16,500. You want trucks? We got them. At Offenburg Chrysler in Cape and Offenburg Chrysler of Heron.
This construction update is brought to you by the Jones Company, St. Louis's premier home builder, building quality homes for over 75 years. Visit the website at www.thejonesco.com. There are many fascinating jobs that are a part of building a new stadium, but none are more high-flying than that of Mark Marino of Above All Aerial and Photography. Mark is responsible for recording and documenting the progress of new Busch Stadium with aerial photography from high above for the construction company.
I fly around from either a fixed-wing airplane or a helicopter, taking pictures of commercial property and real estate for developers and builders. And on projects like this, I fly around and photograph the progress of the stadium construction. I circle the stadium about 1,000 to 1,200 feet above the stadium, and I'll take shots looking from all different directions, north, south, east, and west. And then we'll also climb up to a higher altitude, around 4,000 feet above the ground, and we'll look straight down into the stadium. So you can get kind of a perspective of how it lays out that way.
You're flying in an airplane. You're leaning over the side with a camera, giving it this. Is that what you're doing?
Well, I do have another.
There's more to it than that.
I do take another pilot with me for safety. I'll typically fly us to the site, and he or she will take over when we get to the site, and they'll worry about keeping us where we need to go, and I'll worry about lining up the pictures and taking the pictures.
You're probably one of the only guys that have this documented from practically day one, right? You can keep copies of this and show your kids, hey, look what I did.
Correct. I'll always have copies of the history of the stadium going up. My guess is there's probably not very many people in St. Louis that would have that. So that's, like you said, it's be a neat thing to show my kids down the road and their kids as well.
It'd be a great thing for all Cardinals fans to have.
It would be.
Our construction update was brought to you by the Jones Company. They have homes in all the places you want to live. Two winning teams, the Jones Company and the St. Louis Cardinals. Oh, that new ballpark is amazing. Fans are bundled up. The umpires are at home plate. It's Clemens and Mulder today at Busch Stadium. What a pitching matchup. What a day. Lineups and first pitch coming up.
You think about the things people do to pursue their passion and how far they can go when they're confident in their equipment. You think about that. Then you build the only SUV with legendary Volvo safety. The Volvo XC90.
Yeah, look what Daddy's got, huh? Yeah. Look, watch Daddy. It's so good. Nummy, nummy. Look, it's good. Daddy likes it. It's good. Whew. That's good.
At least you can count on Toro mowers. Guaranteed to start or we'll fix it free. And introducing the amazing new SR4 Super Recycler, just released, only from Toro.
Always fresh.
Always friendly. Always fun!
Shake off the workday with Chevy's Workday Libations. There's a different special every night, including Born on Thursdays from Anheuser-Busch. Chevy's Fresh Mix, fresh beer, fresh mix, fresh fun.
John Deere Gator utility vehicles for work, play, and everything in between. Pick a direction. Go.
Right now, they're meeting in one place to deliver the power and precision of professional-grade trucks and SUVs. It's GMC's first ever red letter event. Push the hot button at your GMC dealer for a chance to win a new GM vehicle. Right now, use your hot button bonus cash and get $3,500 total cash back on a new 05 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab. It's GMC's red letter event. See your professional-grade Missouri, Illinois GMC dealers today.
Cardinal baseball on WB11, brought to you by Budweiser. Bright, crisp, clean, pure, the king of beers. By your Mid-America Chevy dealer. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer today, midamericachevy.com. By Dobbs, your exclusive broadcast tire dealer of Cardinal baseball. By your local Toyota dealer. By American, your headquarters for HD TV, selection, expertise, and the everyday low price. And by Southwest Airlines, nonstop service to over 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. And I hope all those airplanes have their windows closed when they're flying on a day like this. We are all bundled up at the ballpark. For those of you who decided to stay home and enjoy Cardinal baseball on WB11, we're going to bring you a great matchup today with Mark Mulder and Roger Clemens. And Rick, the early part of the game is going to be very important for Mark Mulder here.
Well, he had a great last start, struggled a little bit in spring training. Of course, we all know about how he did the second half of last season, but I think he's worked out some things mechanically and sure looked like it his last time out.
Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Astros, 5th in the league in hitting, but they're 12th in runs. Non-stop service to over 59 destinations across the country from Southwest. Where's Jeff Bagwell? He's on the bench today. Biggio in the number 2 spot. They'll get Lance Berkman back sometime over the next month or two, coming back from an offseason knee injury. And when you look at this lineup, it's like, well, this is not nearly as scary a ball club offensively as it used to be. But they've got Roger Clemens pitching today. And the first half of our Dobbs pitching matchup is Mark Mulder. Dobbs, your exclusive broadcast tire dealer of Cardinal baseball.
I don't care how old Jeff Bagwell is. Mark Mulder is glad he's not in the lineup. You mentioned, Bob, you've never seen him not play. In all the Astro games that you've done, Bagwell is usually in there for games day in and day out, but he does have the afternoon off. And I tell you, the guys in this lineup, names we're going to start to know better as the year goes on and as their careers go on, are Mike Lamb and Jason Lane. I think these two guys are stars of the future.
Mark Mulder, 4th start. Cardinal team ERA is down about 1.5 runs from what it was last week. First pitch of the game, and Brian Runge calls it strike 1. 43 degrees at game time. And a shot for a hit to right center. Walker over to cut it off. Larry back in the lineup today. And a leadoff base hit for Adam Everett, who came in hitting .203. Cardinal defense brought to you by Steak and Shake. Real steak burgers, real milk milkshakes 24 hours a day.
Well, the defense on the left side of the infield in particular has done very well. Eckstein and Rowland both without an error. Adam Everett, who leads off with a base hit, also is errorless at shortstop for the Astros. So we've got a few guys that can pick it here this afternoon,
including Craig Biggio, who at one time in his career won 4 Gold Gloves as a second baseman. And that was after coming up as a catcher. And that was before going to center field.
I still wonder about that center field move. I mean, if anything, Biggio was not good at, as we take a look at his .344 average in the early part of the season. The one thing he's not good at is throwing. He never had a strong arm. That's why he got moved from catcher to second base. So center field, I think, was a little bit of a nightmare for him.
Well, and then when they picked up Carlos Beltran last year, they moved him over to left field, and he had to play in front of that crazy scoreboard in Houston. So, you know, that just tells you about Craig Biggio. He's a team guy.
He is, no doubt.
He'll do whatever a manager asks him to do, and he'll do it without a word. He'll do it, and he'll go out and keep producing offensively. He's batting .344.
And isn't that the way it should be? There are a lot of folks out there watching this game this afternoon and say, I have to do that at work too. I got to do what my boss tells me to do. What's so hard about that? But there are some players that get a little hard-headed and think they know better than their coaches and their manager, but Biggio is not one of those guys.
Biggio tied for 9th in the league in hitting with his ex-teammate Jeff Kent of the Dodgers with that .344 mark. The sun has been peeking in and out today. Fortunately, the rain has gone away. It is relatively dry at the ballpark. Grounds crew a great job of getting things ready.
I'm warm, Bob. How about you?
Yeah, my partner stopped by the clubhouse and picked up a nice sweatshirt for himself.
So I feel fine.
I hope Rip Rowan's listening so he can send one up here for me. We don't have a heater up here like the guys next door in the radio booth.
We watched Tony this morning put on about 8 layers.
Yes, he did. Tony put on about 5 or 6 shirts and said, I'm not anywhere near done. 1 ball, 1 strike to Biggio. And a running bunt for strike 2. By the way, Rip Rowan, I'm a large, not an XL like Rick Horton.
Our friend Rich Gould just said in the background, I heard him. He said there ought to be enough hot air around the two of us that we don't need a sweatshirt. How about that? I heard him say that.
2 other games underway in the National League. The Marlins have scored twice after 4. They lead the Reds 4-0 down in the Miami area, and they're after 3 at New York, the Mets and the Nationals. Atlanta, New York, and Washington are all 9-8, 1 game back of Florida in the National League East. The Cards have a 2.5 game lead over the Cubs, Reds, and these Astros. Mike Lamb is next. The cleanup hitter today is right fielder Jason Lane. And the reason I mentioned the early part of this ball game, Rick, if you're facing Roger Clemens, you cannot go out and give up a couple of runs in the first inning.
It changes the way you defense the other team and pitch.
Could be 2. Turned by Grzelcyk, but he dropped the ball as he tried to make the exchange. So it'll be a 5-4 fielder's choice. And Craig Biggio has always run well, but that was a legitimate double play ball.
Well, I think with the arm of Grzelcyk, there's a chance that that's going to be 2. Of course, you got a strong arm at third. Just tries to be a little too quick in the transition. Catches the ball. I tell you what, he did not hold that ball very long. Grzelcyk, he says, yes, I was taking it out of the glove, says the umpire. I'm not so sure about that, but I think the Cardinals will take it.
Cardinals have turned 14 double plays on the year so far. Tied for #1 in the league defensively with Cincinnati, each club with 7 errors. Although the Cardinals have booted the ball around a bit this week, they only had 3 errors last weekend. This is Mike Lamb batting .222.
They've done a lot of booting around the ball that does not result in errors, where they're getting the fielder's choice, not the double play. They're making maybe a play that should be a routine play, look close at first base. Eckstein's had a few of those. Grzelcyk's had a few of those, but they're avoiding the areas or the errors by and large.
David Eckstein has not made an error. Cardinals have only given up 6 unearned runs so far. The one thing they've done is keeping those errors from costing them opposing runners scoring. Redbirds are 10-5. They're best start since the 2000 season when they had an identical record. Molina keeps that one close enough. And I really think if you're Craig Biggio, you've got to be on your way to second base on that ball.
Yeah, I don't think he read that ball very well. He thought it might have been closer to Molina than he was. Molina, of course, has a great arm, but Biggio has good enough speed that if he gets a good jump initially, he can go from first to second. Didn't quite get a big secondary lead, maybe just a little shuffle off, and thought twice about going. I think he made a mistake there.
The Astros are the best running team in the National League with 20 steals so far. Now they've got Biggio picked off. So after not going anywhere, he got too eager to go somewhere. It'll go 1-3-6 on the caught stealing.
Boy, I love picking off runners. That's just one less guy on the base pass as Mulder gives him the good move. Albert comes off, throws the ball on the inside part of the infield. When Albert catches that ball, he's got to make sure he doesn't hit Biggio in the back, and a nice throw to complete the pickoff for Mark Mulder. You know, that's a tougher throw than you think, particularly for a right-handed first baseman. How many times do we see that guy hit the runner in the back? Albert really showing he knows how to play first base.
He's a future Gold Glover. It may take Todd Helton getting traded out of this league, though, for that to happen. And Mulder drops a nasty breaking ball on Mike Lamb. So the Cardinals retire a couple of men on the bases, and Mulder gets a big K. The Redbirds and Roger Clemens straight ahead.
Something was missing. It's all about tradition, Bob.
Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you'll find in no other beer.
So do you know what I said?
To the bank guy?
Yeah. I said I wanted free checking with no minimum balance, plus free online bill paying. Plus I want lots of your ATMs so we don't have to worry about those fees. Because I don't think we should have to pay for any of it. And you know what he said?
Goodbye.
He said, we don't think you should pay for it either.
Oh.
Free checking with no minimum balance. Plus, plus, plus. From Bank of America. Higher standards.
Introducing Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. So revolutionary, it targets and kills the toughest weeds without harming your lawn. Weed Be Gone Max sprayed here. Ordinary weed killer here. Only Weed Be Gone Max has a foaming action and weed targeting formula for total root kill. So it killed the weeds, but not the grass. The ordinary weed killer didn't target anything. So it killed everything. New Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. Kills weeds, not lawns. Guaranteed.
Cardinal lineup brought to you by Southwest. Nonstop service to over 59 destinations. It'll be Eckstein, Walker, Pujols, Edmonds, Roland, Cedeno, and Roger Cedeno's 10 for 23 career against Clemens. Grudzielanek, Molina, and Mulder. Roger Clemens 1-0 with a microscopic ERA. Rick, I think he's going to be a big winner this year, but can he win 20 unless this Houston ball club gets him some runs to work with?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with what you said earlier about Berkman getting back in this lineup and being a little bit more potent offensively, but he certainly has, he may be old, but he still has the stuff to win 20 games.
Roger Clemens, second half of our Dobbs pitching matchup. Dobbs is your exclusive broadcast tire dealer of Cardinal baseball.
Don't tell Roger I said he was old, by the way.
Well, he's only 42. Won't turn 43 until the 4th day of August. David Eckstein still has a good on-base average of .426. Cardinals are up to 13th in the league in hitting now at .239. They have the 3rd best home run total in the National League with 20. Dodgers and the Mets each with 22. LA doing some hitting to go with their good pitching out there so far.
How about the start they've had?
They're 12-4. Second best record in baseball. White Sox are 13-4. And Clemens out there for his 4th start of the year. And a 16-inning scoreless streak going.
And of course the 3rd best record in baseball belongs to the Cardinals.
That would be 10-5. What a good job by Eckstein. A nasty 2-2 breaking ball, and he did not bite on it. He's going to make Roger Clemens throw at least 6 pitches to the first batter.
That's somebody that knows the strike zone right there. David Eckstein, very good at getting on base, even if it's not by a hit. Get on there anyway.
Foul Clemens will have to throw at least 7.
That's his job. Make the guy throw a lot of pitches. The starting pitcher, give everybody a chance to look at what his stuff is like that day. Hitters will know that a pitcher's stuff is not the same every game. They want to see, is his slider sharp today? Is his fastball got a little extra hop to it? And he's letting the Cardinal lineup know as much information as possible.
What a great at bat, even if it's an out, and it is on a great play by Jason Lane. But what an amazing at bat by David Eckstein. Should have had a base hit, and Lane, who's made a couple of errors out there, made a dandy play to rob him of a double and maybe more.
Well, he gets a great jump on it. He's playing shallow to begin with, but he gets a great jump and catches that ball right off the top of the turf. That is a triple at least if he does not make that play. Great hand-eye coordination by the right fielder, Jason Lane.
Larry Walker next. He's only seen Roger Clemens 5 times in his career, 1 for 5 with 1 strikeout. There are some Cardinals with interesting career numbers against the Rocket. We'll go through those as the day goes on. Larry back in the lineup today.
I like what Tony said to us about Larry, that he's mad, and that's good.
And Tony used a more forceful expression than mad. We'll see how Walker reacts to being back in the lineup against one of the best in the game, and he immediately works the count to 3-0.
It's still amazing to me when I watch Clemens pitches. He really short arms the ball more than most power pitchers do, but man, can he get it up there in a hurry.
Larry Walker takes one high and tight. Cardinals have their first base runner. The Astros are in the top 3 in the league defensively. Brought to you by Steak and Shake. Real steak burgers, real milk milkshakes, 24 hours a day. The former catcher, second baseman, center fielder, and left fielder, Craig Biggio. Right now we're trying to calibrate our radar gun. With these 2 hard throwers out there today, it's having a hard time keeping up. We're working on it. And here's Albert. This should be an interesting matchup. Pujols 2 for 9 career against Clemens with 4 walks. So Roger Clemens at times has been very careful with Albert Pujols.
Albert has been on base in every single one of the Cardinal games this year, which I find amazing. That's a tough thing to do. You're going to get shut down sooner or later, but counting last year, 24 straight games, Albert has reached base. 5 strikeouts and 61 at bats. That's the thing I love about Albert. His strikeout totals, his 4 years in the big leagues, 93, 69, 65. Last year, 52. That is very impressive. If you keep up that geometric progression, by the time he's a 12-year veteran, he won't strike out at all.
Not at all. No.
The whole season.
You know, but Rick, it does bring back memories of guys like Ted Williams and Stan Musial, players of that era who hit for great power, drove in runs, but they almost always made contact. Great fastball on the corner.
Then you think of the new breed of home run hitter after them, the Dave Kingman type player, the Reggie Jackson, and even Mickey Mantle. Those guys struck out all the time, 100+ every year.
You know, Mark McGwire was like that. Jim Edmonds is like that. 1-1 to Albert, batting .295 now. That average is on the rise. Pops it up. Way up there. This is Mike Lamb. Ball drifting on him. There is a breeze swirling in the ballpark today, and that's the second out. And it'll be Edmonds, who's had a very interesting career against Clemens. He's faced him 39 times, 8 hits, 3 of them home runs, but Roger Clemens has struck out Jim Edmonds 17 times. But all it takes is one, right?
That'd be one of those things that's hard to determine. Do you own who owns who?
Who owns who?
Because that's the players talk about that. I own this guy, he owns me. I think this would be a toss-up.
Yeah, nobody owns anybody. They each have their moments.
It's a partnership.
I guarantee you there's not a hitter in baseball Roger Clemens considers his partner.
Yeah. and there's also not a hitter in baseball, regardless of the stats, who would publicly say they own Roger Clemens, whether you're Roger Cedeno or not.
And even if you
he's not going to say that.
Even if you did, you wouldn't want to say it.
No, absolutely. You might whisper it. You might whisper it in Spanish, but you're not going to make a big deal out of it. It's one of the things you appreciate about Clemens is the tenacity in which he approaches the art of pitching. He's not afraid to pitch inside, that's for sure. He's tough.
Career numbers are staggering. 329 wins. This is his 643rd start. He did pitch 1 game in relief in his career. 4,343 strikeouts, 1,460 walks. Amazing longevity by Clemens, who first appeared in 1984 with the Red Sox. Well hit, out of play, left side. Leaderboard brought to you by First Bank. Will treat you like one of the family. I don't think Roger will be around long enough to catch the Ryan Express.
That'd be an awful lot of strikeouts. Look at those names on that leaderboard. Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens.
My heart
That's
aches.
a lot of strikeouts, too.
My heart aches every time I see that 4th name anywhere. Former Cardinal Steve Carlton.
I tell you, it's such a joy to watch Roger Clemens pitch. Moms and dads watching this game, tell your kids, turn off the Nintendo, put it in the closet somewhere, tell them to stop doing their homework, and put them in front of a TV and tell them you're going to get a chance to watch one of the best pitchers of all time do his craft.
0-2. All right, now let's see what he does after this. He just moved Edmonds off the plate with a fastball. The old Roger Clemens would blow you away. The modern Roger Clemens will take that little thing and turn it over and let it go to the outside corner around the knees and have you unable to reach it. That's the art that he has perfected over the last 5 or 6 years of his 20-plus year career. Inside target. So another one to move Edmonds back. Sweep tag, and just back is Larry Walker.
Well, that's a nice throw from Brad Ausmus, who is one of the premier defensive players in the National League at the catching position. Still got a quick arm, a strong arm, and that's a very close play at first base. Charlie Relaford thought twice about that, but the coin came up on the positive side.
A lot of hitting room over there for Edmonds if he can pull one. Hanging in there. Cardinals are forcing Roger Clemens to work quite a bit here in the first inning. David Eckstein had a 7-pitch at bat before lining out to Jason Lane, who made a great play. Then he walked Larry Walker on 5 pitches. Albert Pujols popped up, and Roger now with a count of 2-2. No score, bottom of the first. There's that little changeup that he'll throw. Edmonds didn't bite. It's in the dirt. This is big now because Larry Walker will be running, and he could score on a gapper.
We saw how important a high pitch count was here last night. Jason Marquis was cruising right along, but his pitch count just kept going up and up and up, and sooner or later the roof caved in on him. Of course, Roger Clemens is a little different than Jason Marquis.
Mike Lamb behind Larry Walker. He'll get a great jump here. To the left side, Biggio keeps it close, and he can't get a hold of it, and Walker is back in at second base. They have given Jim Edmonds a base hit on a play that Craig Biggio would have told you, I have to make.
Well, this is not a base hit. This is an error, but Jim Edmonds is going to take it. Of course, he does have to go far to his left. Biggio, Roger Clemens is saying second very alertly as Biggio goes to his left. Larry Walker around second, thinks if that goes through, I got to make it to third. Whoops. Of course, there's another example of a player looking over his shoulder, which we question that over and over and over again. That's why we got a third base catch.
Big spot early for Scott Rowland, who loves to swing at the first pitch. It's a breaking ball. He identified that and took it just outside. Pirates did not score in the first at Wrigley. It has to be just beautiful and toasty up in Chicago today, based on what it's like here.
I'm warm.
They got rained out yesterday at Wrigley.
Why are you so cold? I just don't get that.
Now you're from New York. You're a tough guy.
Yeah.
2-0.
That's it.
Tough guy with a sweatshirt.
Talk about Cedeno hitting Clemens well. So does Scott Rowland, 6 for 17 with 3 career home runs. Pretty good numbers.
Sun blazing here, and the count goes to 3-0. A defensive miscue normally does not bother Roger Clemens.
On that error given as a hit also prolongs the inning and makes Clemens throw more pitches. That's already 26 pitches here in the first inning. Clemens a little stronger again than most National League starting pitchers. He can go 130 pitches without getting tired.
So even if you don't score here, you've set yourself up to make it a long afternoon for a great right-hander. If you do score, it's a wonderful advantage to have early. Scott Rowland looking for RBI number 10 or more. And he took all the way on 3-0. Yankees are behind again. Texas 6, New York 1 after 5. Boss fuming in the Bronx. 1-0 Baltimore at Toronto early. And a 3-1. Just off the plate, and the bases are loaded on 2 walks and an infield grounder. And Roger Cedeno, who, as we mentioned, has the best average against Clemens, steps in. He's 10 for 23. Great speed with Walker and Jim Edmonds. Scott Rowland, maybe the smartest base runner in the league at first. Roger Cedeno, 1 for 14 left-handed this year, 2 for 15 overall. Somebody's lunch ended up out in front of Willie Taveras in center field. At least the plate that the lunch came on.
Almost makes it feel like we're in old Candlestick Park in San Francisco with stuff flying onto the field because it's cold and windy.
I never knew how many hot dog wrappers it took to put on a major league game until I did my first game at Candlestick Park. Off the full windup, Clemens to Cedeno. Left center, well hit, but not well enough, and easily covering it, Willie Taveras. Cardinals get a walk and 2 walks and a hit, Strand 3, and they make Clemens work long and hard in the bottom of the first.
Did you know that Southeast Missouri Hospital established the region's first neonatal intensive care unit in 1979? Over the years, thousands of babies have been cared for by the region's most experienced newborn critical care team that today includes 2 fellowship-trained board-certified neonatologists. At Southeast, our Level 3 NICU provides the highly specialized care premature infants need to survive and grow.
Find out more with online health at southeastmissourihospital.com.
A solid foundation is essential to any structure. If you have foundation problems, Helitech will heal your home. Whether you've got a leaky basement that won't stay dry or a crack sinking foundation, their Helitech technicians will perform a sophisticated evaluation of your problem and share it with their in-house engineers for a technical solution. Call Helitech now at 1-800-246-9721 and
heal your home with Helitech. This is it, Hyundai's once-a-year spring sales event with great deals like up to $3,500 cash back or 0% APR for 60 months on select models and limited-time-only savings on the stylish Hyundai Sonata. Like every Hyundai, the Sonata is built with award-winning quality that lets Hyundai offer America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. Hurry, the event ends May 2nd. Only at your Hyundai dealer. Get a 2005 Hyundai Sonata with up to $3,000 cash back or 0% APR.
Inspection, service, value, and much more. With the open road calls, we're your answer. RV America.
Southwest Airlines nonstop service to over 59 destinations across the country. Southwest a symbol of freedom. Top of the second, first pitch swinging is the right fielder Jason Lane. This guy's on fire. 28-year-old former 6th-round draft choice out of USC, and he's batting .348, 7th best in the National League. People found out about Jason Lane back in '98 when he had 15 base hits during the College World Series for the champion Trojans of Southern Cal. Hit .288 last year with 58 RBIs in only 112 games. And we've already seen today what a good right field he can play.
Morgan Ensberg was telling me this morning how many players that you would be aware of were on that Trojan team. How about the pitchers? Pryor, Zito.
Wow.
How about Jenkins from Milwaukee? Chad Moeller from Milwaukee. Randy Flores was the best pitcher probably.
And he was a walk-on.
And he just became, I want to say he became the winningest pitcher in USC history.
You are correct. There goes the bat and the ball out to short. Eckstein fields it and throws him out by a half step. That cracked bat is brought to you by Woods Basement Systems. If you have a crack in your basement foundation, call the expert at Woods. Foundation and wet basement repairs. And we always seem to get a cracked bat very, very early in every one of our telecasts.
Well,
whoever sold that sponsorship knew exactly what he or she was doing.
Well, that one caused by a nice sinker from Mark Mulder. What we're really looking for from Mulder here today as the game unfolds is his ability to work both sides of the plate. Of course, that's important to all pitchers, but he's had real trouble getting that cutter in on right-handers. Pretty nice curveball, stays up in the zone, but Mulder got that cracked bat on the sinker down and away, but he's got to be able to get that fastball in if he's going to pitch at the all-star caliber that he has in the past.
Astros are hoping Ensberg reverts to his 2003 power form. Nice catch by a fan.
Hey.
I don't think Larry Walker could have had that.
Look at me.
Morgan Ensberg hit 25 home runs 2 years ago. #1 in the National League for third baseman. And then last year he tailed off to 10 on the year.
Tell you, he hit a bomb here last night off of Tavares.
Tough play by Rowland. Eckstein had a little in between hop, and so did Scott Rowland. And the Cardinal defenders looking strong so far. 3 ground ball outs now for Mark Mulder with a strikeout. And then Chris Burke will bat with 2 outs and the bases empty.
I guarantee you, when the Cardinals starting pitcher comes to the ballpark, not only do they check the other team's lineup, but they want to make sure the defensive guys are out there they want as well. They want to make sure Rowland's in the game and Eckstein's in the game, because it just makes them that much better, especially if you got a guy that gets a lot of ground balls.
That reminds me when Bob Gibson used to show up at the ballpark on a day he was pitching. He'd say to Red, "I don't care what you do, but number 27 better be playing shortstop."
That's right.
And that was Dal Maxville. He didn't care if Maxey went 0 for 4, but Gibson wanted his glove out there at short.
And I love Maxey, but he did go 0 for 4 a few times.
But I do have to say, in Maxey's defense, I saw him hit a home run here one night in the old configuration of Busch Stadium when it was 386 to the gap in left center, and the wall was 11 feet high. He hit one over the wagon gate out into the old bullpen area. Now, Yadier Molina never made any attempt for that ball. I don't know if he assumed that thing was in the stands or what. Albert had a long run, and the ball hit on the warning track with nobody really close to catching it.
Tell you what, Albert was staring down Yadier Molina after he gave chase for that ball and didn't catch it. And I wouldn't want Albert Pujols to stare me down.
Got him in the dirt. Runner will go. And the easy throw. Great inning for Mulder. A grounder. A grounder. And a strikeout in the dirt. He is keeping that ball down. No score, middle of the second.
Welcome to California.
We run.
We rip.
We fly.
We swing.
We believe. We believe in Nirvana. We rock! And we've got our own motto. So come on. Come on.
Come on. Listen to my wife.
Find yourself in California. Southwest Airlines is taking low fares farther with 62 daily flights from St. Louis to these cities.
You are now free to move about the country.
Are your eyes open? So are we.
There's more than one way to make a shake. And we admit, their way is more efficient. But when was the last time you sipped a shake and said, that tastes efficient?
Well, you've completed your grill training, so I'm proud to make you one of us.
Does that mean I'm ready to make hamburgers?
Steak and Shake.
Sit down! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Hey kids, are you a Cardinals fan? Well, don't forget to register at any area Great Clip Salon to be an honorary bat boy or bat girl at a Cardinals game. The contest is open to all kids age 8 through 13. Get a great haircut and register for a great experience as a Cardinals honorary bat boy or bat girl, only at Great Clips.
You can purchase authentic game-used seats from Busch Stadium. You might have sat in one day or a night. $470 a pair. Includes shipping, mounting brackets, hardware, instructions on how to put them all together and have your own little ballpark at home. Seats will arrive within 4 weeks of the conclusion of the season. Call 421-2400 or go to stlcardinals.com. The sale began last week, and a lot of Cardinal fans have purchased seats from Busch Stadium to stay with them forever.
That sale went on in my own house. My daughter heard us talking about that and said, we got to have a few of those. A few even.
A few.
So I had the hard sale going on in my own house.
Rezolanic fouls one back, and the count's 1-2. Evidently, Yadier Molina never picked that ball up, Rick. It's kind of a sky with a glare today as you look up to those clouds, and I could look up and see where you would lose a ball.
It looks to me like Albert's still giving him the fatherly lecture about it doesn't matter. You got to find out where it is, and really it's the fault of infielders a little bit because they've got to tell the catcher where it is. The pitcher in particular has got to let the catcher know what direction to go for that ball.
And for the 4,344th time, Roger Clemens strikes out a batter. Yadier's got the stocking cap going underneath the batting helmet today. 7 base hits in 46 at-bats. At this time a week ago, when the Cardinals took the field at Milwaukee, he was 1 for 22. So he has had almost a hit per day in the last week. This is where Roger Clemens will just eat you alive at the bottom of the order.
Oh, that's exactly right. He does not let you up. If he's got you by the throat, he does not loosen his grip to regrip. He just keeps squeezing, particularly those guys at the bottom part of the order. He just puts you away.
And Molina with a 2-hopper to Ensberg, who backed up a bit. Plenty of time, 2 down. Ask your questions about today's game at WB11TV.com. Click on the Cardinals, type in the question. We'll answer a selected one in the 5th inning, and if we select yours, you'll receive a care package from Hair Saloon for Men. Men deserve better. Hair Saloon for Men.
I want some great questions today.
Mark Mulder 0 for 6 this year. And 1 for 28 with an RBI as a major league hitter.
And watch Mulder take batting practice last week, and he hit nothing but line drives. He had a swing kind of like Marquis, who's probably the best hitting pitcher that the Cardinals have now in their rotation. Supan's not bad, but Mulder's got a nice swing.
Took a good hack there and fouled it straight back. No score, bottom of the 3rd at Chicago. Pirates and the Cubs. Redmond and Maddox on the mound today. Greg Maddux still doesn't have a W this year. Roger Clemens takes care of the Cardinals 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the 2nd. Bottom 3 coming up for the Astros. They've sent up the minimum 6 against Mulder so far.
From an admirer.
Oh. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. For what?
So, this admirer, when does he get off?
All right, last call, everybody. Last call.
Our exclusive Beechwood aging produces a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you'll find in no other beer.
This is it. Hyundai's once-a-year spring sales event with up to $3,500 cash back on select models and limited-time-only savings on the V6 Hyundai Santa Fe. Feature-packed, and the winner of Strategic Vision's 2004 Total Quality Award. That award-winning quality lets Hyundai offer America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. But you have to hurry. The event ends May 2nd, only at your Hyundai dealer. Lease a new Tucson for just $199 a month at your local Hyundai dealer today.
Listen, you can't even hear it. What? The XLI. You have a Train XLI cooling system? Of course it's quiet. It's those galvanized steel louvers. Oh, how rugged. Tell me about it. Climate-tough compressor. Patented spine fin coil. It might outlast Evelyn's 3rd marriage. What? Oh, next we buy you a baby carriage.
Must be some air conditioner. The Train XLI. It's hard to stop a train.
Call the Train Professional Hotline about a new high-efficiency system. It's hard to stop a train.
Want to beat athlete's foot?
Let's try a little one-on-one. Lamisil AT versus Lotrimin AF. Use this, you have to use it for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. With Lamisil AT, 1 week and you're done. That's 4 times faster. Lamisil AT, advanced treatment.
What's on tap? Brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. Rick and I and Rich and the crew back here tomorrow for Matt Morris and Brandon Backey. And tonight you can join Jeff Bernthal, Melanie Moon at 9 for WB11 News. Latest on the weekend forecast, Don Bell with all the sports. That's WB11 News at 9. It's about time. Brad Osmus. Eckstein right behind it. And speaking of news, Rick Edlin on the WB11 staff. Rich Gould, his sports guy, right with him, guys.
Rick is here with daughter Ashley, son Connor. He is the most intelligent newsman we have in our fair city in a number of ways. Not only news, but also sports. This man knows his baseball, and you picked a great pitching matchup today, my friend.
Oh, this is fantastic. I mentioned to you a moment ago, sitting right here behind home plate watching Roger Clemens. Can you imagine how good he was 10 or 12 years ago? Terrific pitcher. This is a great matchup.
How about the snap on the breaking ball of Mark Mulder, too?
He's looking very sharp so far. Looking very sharp. I think once he settles down, I think he could be the ace of this team by the end of the year.
We've got a big May coming up. We're going to make things happen in WB11 News.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a lot of good Focus 11s on the way, and we got a little Mo.
And I see that Connor is sporting the nice WB11 hat.
Yes,
that'll make the boss happy. The boss is upstairs watching today.
When we came out here, we thought we were going to play football. It was so cold. So we bundled up. We bundled up.
How's Ashley doing over here? Ashley, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You glad Dad brought you to the ball game?
Yeah.
Are you getting plenty to eat?
Yeah.
Hey, he makes a lot of money, so you just get anything you want. He makes it tough. What a treat it is to watch this guy play ball, huh?
Oh, this is so much fun. And you know what? I'm having a blast watching David Eckstein. Hadn't seen him before in person. I really like him.
Great inning for Mulder. Bob Carpenter.
All right, Rich, thanks. And thanks to Rick. A 1, 2, 3, 8 straight for Mulder. No score, middle of the third.
Come in now for the best selection and savings on 05 Hondas at Ike Auto Park. Hi, this is Lori. Now through April 30th, you'll find value comes in lots of different sizes. Delivering performance, style, and safety. A new 05 Honda Accord with automatic all-power and a 5-star safety rating is just $199 a month. An 05 Honda Civic offers reliability, style, and comfort. And at just $159 a month, makes it a great value. Come in today and test drive a new Honda at Ike Auto Park. And remember, you don't have the right price till you have Ike's price.
Did you know there's more to an eye exam than just vision correction? Dr. Obermark's Eye Health Care and Plaza Optical treat glaucoma, cataracts, diabetic retinopathy, and more to assure the best vision and eye health.
No matter where you've been before, I think you'll be pleased with our personal attention to your eye health. For your next prescription glasses, contacts, or eye health exam, I invite you to our office. We specialize in your eyes.
Nobody else had stow-and-go seating and storage.
It's America's best-selling minivan.
With bonus cash.
Got a 5-star side crash test rating.
It's got stow-and-go fold-flat seats for me. Lots of storage for him.
I got 0% financing.
Join over 1 million proud new owners during the Dodge Spring Sales Event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. Get 0% financing plus a $1,000 April bonus cash allowance or a no extra charge DVD on Grand Caravan.
I got the Caravan I wanted.
We got a DVD.
Cardinal Trivia brought to you by Schnucks, where shopping is easy. The slope. What is the slope of Busch Stadium? And the slope of the new Busch Stadium?
The slope.
They got me on that one. I do know that.
That's the rise over the run. It's the change in X over the change in Y.
Now, the part of this ballpark that is, quote, the deepest underground is out in left center field because it's quite a bit lower than Broadway is out there.
Y equals MX plus B.
They did a lot of excavating when they dug Busch Stadium out way back in the mid-60s.
You're not following my math.
You're starting to sound like Einstein up here. Didn't Mike Shannon say that Einstein invented television?
I think he did.
David Eckstein leads off bottom of the third and works the count 2-0.
And if he didn't, he should have.
We got ex-pitchers all over the broadcast booths today. That's a strike. Over in the Camo X side, our buddy Jim Jackson on the left and Wayne Hagan on the right. And
Who's
there's
that guy?
Andy Bennis doing a little radio work with Mike off for the weekend.
Well, everybody's here because we heard there was a good pitching matchup today.
Yeah, everybody wanted to see this one. On the corner, 2-2 to Eckstein, who lined hard to the shallow playing Jason Lane back in the first.
Actually warmed up a tad here, too.
Yeah, I think it's up to 46.
I'm getting a little hot, actually, in this sweatshirt.
That was a breaking ball that jammed Eckstein, and he fouled it right down off of his leg. Tough little guy who doesn't mind taking a few to get on base. In the 01 and 02 seasons with the Angels, he led the American League in being hit by pitches. 21 followed by 27 times.
Right off the toe.
Whew.
That didn't feel good.
And a 2-2, and he fouls it away. We're right at the top of the hour here in downtown St. Louis. Cardinal baseball on KPLR TV, St. Louis, WB11. And we hope you're enjoying Cardinal baseball and that you're nice and warm and toasty wherever you are around our 8-state television network today.
You're watching Cardinal baseball on WB49 WDKA, Paducah, Kentucky.
In the dirt, and it's picked out by Mike Lamb. You hope you don't look back on the first inning. And there's our Waterway Car Wash out of town scoreboard, by the way. You hope you don't look back, Rick, and say, why did Roger Cedeno swing at the first pitch after Roger Clemens had walked a couple of guys and the bases were loaded?
I was just thinking the same thing about letting Roger Clemens off the hook early is a dangerous thing. Of course, they did make him work, throw a lot of pitches, and Cedeno is comfortable at the plate for some reason against Roger Clemens. He saw that first pitch fastball. He hit it hard. Unfortunately, it was right at the center fielder, but it may be a wasted opportunity. Comes back and haunts the Redbirds.
And Walker goes reaching for a pitch that was way outside. And he's in the hole 0-2. And that's the thing you wonder about Roger Clemens. You got a little infield hit that really should have been an error. Couple of walks. You had the bases loaded. He might rip off 12 or 15 in a row here. Seven division series, 8 LCS, 5 World Series for Clemens with Boston, New York, and Houston. He had Larry Walker reaching, a little ground ball right side. Biggio makes the exchange for the second out. It'll be Albert with 2 outs, bases empty. Attention all school teachers and kids. Cardinals and WB11 teaming up again for another learning curve day at the ballpark. First date sold out, so another one on Wednesday the 27th of April, Cardinals Brewers. All elementary and middle schools can take part in a pregame weather education program. One great price includes all the pregame activities, your ticket to the game, and lunch. Call the Cards at 425-0600. Get the kids out of school and come to the ballpark.
I bet those kids know that y equals mx plus b. Bet they did their math homework.
Y equals mx plus b.
It's the slope of a line.
I knew I should have paid more attention to Father Pekarski. And a hard slider away, no balls, 2 strikes.
I have no idea what that means or how useful that is.
My freshman math teacher.
Okay.
Also my basketball coach, not a good combination. And a little let up by Clemens, kind of just letting that ball tantalize Pujols by drifting to the inside part.
Albert had an interesting day yesterday. Actually got his toe stepped on at first base. His toe is totally black from where he got stepped on. He made a great play saving an error from Taveras. He also got hit on the arm and has a black and blue mark there.
All he does is get a hard hit out into right center. A clean base hit for the Redbirds and their 4th base runner of the game. That'll get Jim Edmonds to the plate here in the 3rd.
He said his elbow's okay as we take another look at this base hit. How many times we see Albert take a high fastball the other way. Wonderful balance, great hand-eye coordination, and that's a pretty quick fastball he's getting out in front of. But Albert said his bruise is okay, except this morning when his kids were fooling around with him, they kept hitting him in the elbow and kept bothering him. So he was kind of thankful to get to the park where he could get some rest.
Clemens turns one over on Edmonds and misses away. Jim Edmonds hit that little roller to the right side that Biggio couldn't handle. Official scored, called it a hit. Kept the inning alive in the first. Cardinals loaded the bases, but Cedeno flied to center. Boy, on TV, I bet it looks like a beautiful day out here to all you folks back home. Temperature may be approaching 50 by mid-afternoon. There are reports it'll be below freezing in the St. Louis area tonight.
We do have another great pitching matchup tomorrow. I'm excited to watch Matt Morris go against Backey. Backey, of course, was so good against the Cardinals towards the end of the season last year. He really almost became their best pitcher on this Astros club for a short period of time. But so excited to see Matt Morris have a great last outing. And this rotation's really filling in pretty nicely, would you say?
Sure is. Matt's back, pitched great in Pittsburgh Tuesday night. The best news for me was hearing that Matt felt real good when he woke up Wednesday morning, too.
That is important.
That day after thing is really important.
No doubt.
Well, Edmonds, another job of identifying that Clemens running fastball.
Well, there's Marquis and on the left and Suppan on the right. I would say Suppan is pretty insouciant, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he was dropping some more big words on us today.
He said I had to work that in somehow today. Insouciant.
He said, don't call my fastball sneaky fast. Call it insouciant.
How about that? I looked it up in the dictionary. It actually means carefree and happy all the time. And that sounds like Jeff Suppan, doesn't it?
Way too smart to be a pitcher.
Cheerfully unconcerned is what the dictionary says. How about that? That's Jeff Suppan, isn't it?
That sounds like you and me on a Sunday afternoon when the temperature is 75 degrees down here.
Mr. Insouciant.
2-1 to Edmonds, a hitter's count. Clemens misses away, ball 3, and Rolen waits. Every member of the 2 through 5 gang has been on base in this game. Walker, Pujols, Edmonds, and Rolen. 2 hits, 2 walks. And Roger just blows one by Jim Edmonds. 93. Serious giddy up here in the bottom of the third.
Well, it'd be nice to see Jim Edmonds turn one of these around. High 3/4 delivery. Not a lot of movement on that, but a lot of hop to it, though. Got there in a hurry. Just explodes out of his hand. A lot of that has to do with strength and power. A lot of that power comes from his lower half.
Albert running, ball 4. It'll be rolling again with 2 men aboard, just like 2 innings ago. Roger Clemens has walked 3 Cardinals today. I think the Redbirds have shown great discipline at the plate so far.
It definitely made him work. You mentioned Cedeno first ball hitting. Not many Cardinals have been doing that. Cedeno saw a possibility with the bases loaded in the first inning. Clemens had already thrown 28 pitches. He knew Clemens was going to want to get ahead of him, get ahead with a fastball, and fortunately he didn't come up with a hit. Scott Rolen, little first ball swinging.
Yeah, and he wasn't about to throw him a little get-ahead fastball either. Clemens knows, like we do, that Scott loves to come up with men on base and hack. And so he tricked him a little on that first one.
Os must have something in his glove. I keep hearing a loud noise every time Clemens throws a pitch home.
It's the ball.
That's a lot louder sound than most pitchers in the National League make.
Cubs got a run in the bottom of the third at home and lead the Pirates 1-0. The Mets picked up 4, bottom of the 4th against the Nationals. How about a little pop here?
I've never heard that sound from 60 feet 6 inches before. Kind of made like a poof. He was thrown into a pillow. Poof. Tell you, when a guy throws hard, a lot of time the ball makes a sound too when it's flying through the air.
Now Roland, that ball hit him off the leg or the foot. Roger Clemens has had a couple of Cardinals topping the ball so far.
Best way I can describe that noise, if you're standing at the plate and the guy's throwing hard, and I think about hitting against a guy like Nolan Ryan, when the seams actually go through the air, it whizzes. The ball makes just this little whizzing sound, and that means you know that ball is spinning quickly and it's moving quickly.
Rick Horton batting against Nolan Ryan. I don't like the matchup.
Did I tell you I got my first hit in big leagues off of Nolan Ryan?
Is that right?
I usually tell people that. First 5 minutes of meeting them. I'm sure you heard that and just forgot.
Probably. 1-2 to Roland. Tough hitting job here with 2 on 2 out. Inside target. And that's a breaking ball that misses in there. Ball 2. At second base, Pujols. Behind him, Edmonds. They both got aboard with 2 outs. No score, bottom of the third. Cardinals about hit the Astros 2-1. Had him reaching. Probably would have been ball 3, but Roland thought it was close enough.
It's the same pitch Roland was walked on in the first inning, just maybe 2 or 3 inches off the plate, but he's not about to be called out looking with runners aboard in a game against Roger Clemens where every run matters. He's an RBI guy. Some guys have that RBI mentality. Scott Rowland would be like that. You just don't want to waste opportunities. Think about a guy like Steve Garvey is a guy that comes to mind. It just always seemed to pick up those RBIs when he had his chance.
Ooh. Clemens thought he had strike 3. Now the runners will be moving on a 3-2 pitch. How close was this?
Well, he almost gets rung up right after I said he would never let it happen, but it's a nice little slider right off the plate. That's a tough pitch to.
And I think a very good call by Brian Runge.
Yeah,
it was off the plate.
Phil Garner's not happy with it. As Brian Runge has his ears perk up just a tad.
I'm sure it looked like a strike from that vantage point over there. 3-2. Here we go. That's ball 4, and the bases are loaded again for Roger Cedeno. Roger Clemens with 4 walks today. Roland twice.
Think he'll swing at the first pitch?
I don't think so. Now the runners were set for you. Pujols third, Edmonds at second, and Scott Rowland. Albert got it started with a 2-out base hit to right center. Edmonds and Rowland both walking, and Cedeno 2 for 16 on the year. A chance to get the Cardinals on top for the second time. Taken all the way. Ooh. High tight fastball, strike 1. That was interesting.
Looks like Roger and Brad Ausmus weren't quite on the same page. Ausmus may have not caught that ball well to indicate maybe they got mixed up on the signs. They want to make sure they're on the same page. You don't want a pass ball or a wild pitch with a runner aboard, particularly on third base.
Pretty
Ausmus
close.
Pulls that one back over the inside. It was close. Roger mildly objects.
Glad he didn't swing, because we'd be talking broken bat again, I think.
It's pitch number 69 already for Roger Clemens.
And he turns one over and fools Cedeno. Quickly it's 0-2. Astros expect Cedeno, if he hits the ball in the air, to go the other way with it. Way toward left center. Willie Taveras, who can really fly out there. Big gap in right center. Target away. Pitching to the defense. Little tapper. Clemens comes home for the force out to end the inning. He knows Cedeno can run, and the whole play was right in front of him. It'll go 1-2 on the fielder's choice, and the Cardinals are gone in the third. They've stranded 6 runners in a scoreless game.
what I said?
To the bank guy?
Yeah. I said I wanted free checking with no minimum balance, plus free online bill paying. Plus, I want lots of your ATMs so we don't have to worry about those fees. Because I don't think we should have to pay for any of it. And you know what he said?
Goodbye.
He said, we don't think you should pay for it either.
Oh. Free checking with no minimum balance. Plus, plus, plus. From Bank of America. Higher standards.
You make this one, and we're going to DQ for a Cheesequake Blizzard. That's all right. 2 out of 3. Really want a blizzard, buddy. Try to focus. I got that. Are you even looking at the run? Okay, now. Just get in the car.
The DQ Cheesequake Blizzard treats in new raspberry and blueberry with chunks of real cheesecake. Score one.
Thank you, Dad.
No. Thank you.
My Grand Cherokee's 4x4 of the year, and I got 0% financing.
Because it has amazing four-wheel drive capability, and it's trail rated. Plenty of cargo room.
5-star crash test rating.
And a great lease.
Join over 1 million proud new owners during the Jeep Spring Sales event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. Now, qualified lessees can lease a Grand Cherokee Laredo for $289 a month for 39 months with $19.99 due at signing.
We got the Laredo we wanted.
Life is good.
This portion of Cardinal Baseball on WB11 is brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns, Dodge. By Jeep, trail-rated capability only in a 4x4. By Chrysler, inspiration comes standard. And by Chevy's, fresh mix, fresh beer, fresh fun. It just doesn't get any fresher. That Jack could be all bundled up on a day like today with that golden voice of his on KMOX. Here's the pitch. And the fourth inning's underway, strike one.
How wonderful was it to listen to Jack Buck talk about Cardinal baseball, or to be with him at an event where he was emceeing or speaking on behalf of the Cardinals and the community. What a classy, classy guy.
I always remember we'd be around the batting cage during BP. Jack didn't walk onto the field. He sauntered onto the field. He'd come out of the dugout, saunter over. Hey, boys, tell us a quick joke, and then he was gone. Off to talk to somebody else. He would just pop in and out of our lives for precious moments at a time.
Don Thompson, one of the guards at the Cardinal clubhouse, was kind enough to give me a picture of Jack and I. Jack interviewing me when I was with the White Sox. Took a great shot of the two of us, and he gave that to me yesterday. I'm thankful for that.
Scott Rowland tried the backhand, couldn't make contact. Adam Everett is aboard.
I think Scott Rowland would like another shot at this one. Ball just stayed down. He had to make a sweeping play with this.
Wow.
That's a tough error right there,
yeah.
But it sounds like they're...
Earlier ball on Biggio was a base hit, and this one on Scott Rowland is a single. Now, I saw Charlie Relaford, the first base umpire, signal that there might have been some sort of interference with the runner by Albert Pujols at the first base bag. And now Phil Garner may be wanting to know, why is my guy not on second base?
Well, normally that kind of interference will involve a runner who actually has a legitimate chance of going from first to second, which Phil Garner is arguing, as Albert was really pushed off, and he says that's interference. But if he does not have a chance to go to second base, they're not going to call interference on that play.
And he really didn't make a legitimate move towards second. He was basically rounding the bag and stopping. That's Scott Rowland's first error of the year, and the Cardinals' 8th.
Tough chance right there.
So after having 3 errors in the first week and a half of the season, the Cardinals have had 5 more in the last week. That'll bring up Craig Biggio with the leadoff runner aboard. Second time today that Adam Everett has been aboard leading off an inning. Astros like to run, except there's a left-hander on the mound today. Everett has stolen 2 out of 3. Biggio 3 out of 4. He was picked off today. Jason Lane, their cleanup guy, 5 steals without being caught. And the number 8 hitter, Willie Taveras, 5 steals in 6 attempts.
Last 3 or 4 batters, Mulder seemed to have found the right release point on his fastball up and in. He's actually getting it in better. He gave up a base hit early on to Adam Everett on a ball that was supposed to be in, and he left out over the plate, but it seems like he's getting a little more extension and getting the ball inside.
He got that ball so far in, Biggio couldn't possibly hit the ball fair.
We have a visitor up in our booth.
Yeah, Fred Bird's up here. 0-2. And then Mulder wasting one away. Rick, as far as I know, for the first time ever, we've had a marriage proposal in our booth, and Brock Phelps just asked his now fiance, her name is Season, to marry him, and evidently she said yes because everybody's happy. Here's the pitch, and Biggio strikes out for a big first out. Hey, Rich, she must have said yes, huh?
Evidently, she did say yes.
Fred Bird came through for me.
What happened back there? And I guess the bigger question is, dear, why did you say yes?
Look at him.
Just look at him, huh? Hey, he looks all right to me. Tell us all about it. How'd you plan this thing?
Well, I planned this out. Mike Buellhorn is a good buddy of mine. I met through Jay Hoffman, who I work for the governor of Illinois, our great governor, Rob Blagojevich. Right. And so he got this set up for us, and he said, hey, we'll get Fred Bird, we'll get a big banner, and we'll go from there. So
Fred Bird helped you out, right?
He did. I'm forever indebted to Fred Bird.
That broken bat just hit Mark Mulder on a ground ball. Thrown out is Mike Lamb, and everybody out to check on Mark Mulder. The barrel of the bat came flying out and made contact with the Cardinal pitcher. And Rick, that is a dangerous projectile coming out toward the mound.
When a bat breaks like that, it is very dangerous because it's sharp. It's sharp on both ends, both the one you are still holding in your hand and the one that comes flying at a fielder. And you just have to hope that just grazed the leg of Mark Mulder. He's thinking about covering first base, which is his job as a pitcher, to move to his left to cover the base. And out of the corner of his eye at the last second, he sees the bat. He breaks to cover first, and there's the bat, tries to get out of the way, and it looks like it grazes the back of his leg, and we just have to hope that it hit not pointy side right into his leg, but the blunt part of the bat. We'll take another look at it from another angle. Wow, that's dangerous. Just have to hope that was the bat head that actually grazed his heel.
Arthur Zalonic able to pick that ball up and throw out Mike Lamb. Down to second base in the play when Adam Everett, as the conference continues. Mark Mulder in a few moments hopefully will go to the mound and throw a few warm-up pitches and feel just fine.
Well, it's got to scare you more than anything else. I mean, that you just don't know what kind of damage that can do. You're grateful it's not coming at your head, but I'm sure there's a piece of that in Mark Mulder's head that had more fear than anything else. Boy, this has been some inning. We've had a wedding, a marriage proposal, and a bat fly at a pitcher. What will happen next, Bob?
There's no telling. I'll tell you one thing. A couple of our knowledgeable Cardinal fans got a hold of Rick and I this week and told us that our note from last Saturday was not necessarily true about the shortest major league game in history. Well, let's check on Mulder first.
First toss seemed okay. He does it, going to do it very gingerly at first. You know, for a guy struggling with mechanics too, and he has been, he's trying to get his mechanics back to the form that he had in the beginning of 2004, his all-star form. You really don't want something like this to make the mechanics thing that much harder.
Right. We had 2 emails Rick and I did this week telling us that the shortest game in Major League history was not 55 minutes. It was 51 minutes on September 28th of 1919 with the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Phillies. So
thanks for paying attention.
Nice going, Cardinal fans. We know you keep us accountable.
It's nice to have email so we can know that we're wrong every once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while. Jason Lane bounced out to short first time up. Well, if he thought Mark Mulder was going to give him a little get-ahead fastball, he was wrong. Great changeup as Mulder turned that ball over on the right-handed batter. Lane coming in as one of the league's best hitters. Even with his out today, batting .343. Molina blocks a pitch in the dirt that was swung on and missed. Roger Clemens and Mark Mulder, rematch of last year's All-Star game, ironically in Houston. I still don't like the winner of the All-Star game getting the World Series home field advantage.
You and me both.
It tinkers too much with baseball tradition. Got him on another pitch low. Molina will eject the mask, wait for Pujols, and then gun him out. And for Mark Mulder, 4 strikeouts on the day. The Astros strand their first base runner. No score, middle of the 4th here at Busch Stadium.
Sometimes life is complicated, but buying a car doesn't have to be. At America's Car Mart, we offer low down payments, flexible financing, and great deals. We make it easy to drive in, drive out, and get on with your life. America's Car Mart. Drive easy.
Selection, service, value, and much more. With the open road cause, we're your answer. RV America.
Get ready for summertime with a new tractor. Mahindra tractors from West Paducah Equipment make summertime chores a breeze. With models to fit nearly every lifestyle, Mahindra offers a variety of features and options. Tractors ranging from 20 to 75 horsepower and 2- and 4-wheel drive models. Flexible finance options and low interest rates makes owning a new Mahindra tractor easy. Come check out this great line of Mahindra tractors at West Paducah Equipment, 3 miles west of Kentucky Oaks Mall on Highway 60, West Paducah.
Take a look at the Ford Explorer, one of the best-selling brands of sport utility vehicles, and you'll see the control and handling ability of an independent rear suspension, an available 239 horsepower V8 engine, and the versatility that only an available fold-flat third-row seat can give you. And now, lease a 2005 Explorer XLT for just $299 a month for 24 months. Visit your local Ford dealer and see why Ford has more repeat buyers than any other make.
Today's high-definition Cardinal baseball telecast brought to you by Weber Chevrolet and American Electronics. Those of you equipped for HD, hope you're enjoying the dramatic views of Cardinal baseball. We're going bottom 4. Let's see if the bottom of the order can make Clemens work a little longer than they did back in the second. I think that half inning, Rick, was over in about 3.5 to 4 minutes.
Boy, it sure was.
Rizalonic called on strikes to start off the bottom of the second.
About a leadoff base runner.
Yeah, you'd like to see somebody get on and at least give Mark Mulder a chance to bunt and get a runner in scoring position at the top of the order coming up. Cardinals have won 2 of the first 3 between the clubs this year. Houston won the season series from the Cardinals last year, 10 wins to 8. But the Cards won the important one in October, 4 games to 3. I think that series could have gone on 15 games and every team would have won in their own ballpark.
I think that's right.
It just seemed like it was going that way. I think the series in Houston did show Dave Duncan and Tony La Russa, Rick, they needed to revamp the pitching staff a bit to get guys who could blow the ball by people, because the Cardinals didn't have anybody who could strike out Houston batters in that ballpark, and that spells trouble down in that bandbox.
Yeah, you need strikeouts there. You need a power pitcher. Cardinal starters did a great job last year. They really carried this team, and they're carrying this team so far in 2005. But didn't really have the #1 guy who was lights out the way a Mark Mulder can be. Not that he throws 98, 99, but he can get his strikeouts. As we got a great look there at the split finger grip from Roger Clemens, and there it is.
Grizzolanic hits it just outside third. And of course, Chris Carpenter was not available for the playoffs. Mark Mulder was still in Oakland. You know, I was reading more of Tony's book the other day, and something struck me that we often forget, Rick. You know, and that's the fact that just a couple of years ago, with the loss of Darryl Kyle, a big chunk of this ball club and this pitching staff went away in an instant. I mean, you just don't replace a guy like that immediately, or even a year later, or even 2 years later. And we should never forget Darryl Kyle for so many different reasons. But at the same time, of course, the picture in the dugout, a ball club just doesn't recover from that right away.
Well, and that recovery was not just about on the field stuff. It was also about the heart of the ball club. Darryl Kyle was very much the heart of the club in terms of his leadership and his connection with the other starting pitchers and the players on the team. Very well respected in the clubhouse. Not a real chatty guy outside the clubhouse with the media, etc., but just a classy man, and missed in more ways than one.
First pitch swinging, Molina gone. You saw that little shot of Craig Biggio, of course, along with his longtime buddy Jeff Bagwell, who've been together on this ball club since 1991. They were very close to DK. Felt his loss just as much as any Cardinal did.
Both of those guys flew in for his service, were a part of the service on the field here at Busch Stadium. Many fans in St. Louis came out for that memorial service, but in many ways, Kyle having played in Houston at the beginning of his career, and of course with Colorado as well, just when you're in this game of baseball, you have friends all over the place. Part of the way it works, you get traded, you change teams, your teammates get traded, and you have friends everywhere, and certainly that was the case for Darryl Kyle.
Two and one to Mulder, who got a few cuts first time up there. Fouled a pitch off, struck out swinging.
We do have a hello today. Bob. Helen Summers is here at the ballpark. She's from Belleville, Illinois, and her dad is 86 today, and she wanted to wish him a happy birthday.
Mulder flares one left field line, and a diving catch by Chris Burke. On both corners of the outfield, outstanding plays by the Astros. Jason Lane back in the first, and Burke here in the fourth. Full extension, taking a double, a triple, or who knows what away from Mark Mulder.
What is Budweiser? It's bright, the look of perfection. It's crisp with ideal flavor. It's clean for a great finish. It's pure, made with the finest all-natural ingredients. It's the smooth, flavorful result of beechwood aging. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
It's the only minivan with Stone Go seating. And I got 0% financing. It's got best-in-class cargo space.
And we need it.
And it has a DVD player.
It's got a 5-star side crash test rating.
Hurry in now and join over 1 million proud new owners during the Chrysler Spring Sales Event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. For a limited time, get 0% financing plus $1,000 bonus cash or a no-charge DVD system on Town & Country at participating dealers.
We got the Town & Country we wanted. Right here.
So, where are you going to go from here?
Probably the penne with meat sauce. Fettuccine with Alfredo.
I meant with your leg.
It's Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl with sauces like roasted garlic Alfredo and creamy 4-cheese marinara. Pick one combination of sauce and pasta, then another. Have all you want for just $8.95. Plus, of course, salad and breads.
Hey kids, are you a Cardinals fan? Well, don't forget to register at any area Great Clip Salon to be an honorary bat boy or bat girl at a Cardinals game. The contest is open to all kids age 8 through 13. Get a great haircut and register for a great experience as a Cardinals honorary bat boy or bat girl, only at Great Clips.
Today's save of the game brought to you by your local Toyota dealer and Chris Burke. Spectacular play, Rick.
Got to be alert when a pitcher's hitting. He might make contact, and Chris Burke gets a great jump and is just laid out, catching the ball into the left field corner. That would have been a double for Mulder. Wonderful play.
Top of the 5th. Hey, guess what? We've got a low hit, scoreless game between Mark Mulder and Roger Clemens. Just what we expected. Morgan Ensberg, Chris Burke, and then Brad Osmus in the top of the 5th inning.
Keep those emails coming, folks. It's the 5th inning, and you know what that means.
We got a question coming up.
We've had some great ones today.
Oh, that was nasty. That ball hit the very end of the grass and stayed down on Scott Rowland. Rich Gould roaming the ballpark. Who's with you, Rich?
Well, speaking of roaming, I have traveled this great state of ours a great many years, but probably not as much or as often, certainly, as John Robinson, Director of Missouri Tourism. How are you?
Very good, Rich. Good to be here today.
Oh, I tell you what, we love it when the folks come to St. Louis and spend money, but you like it when they do that all over the state, don't you, John?
We like it when they go to visitmo.com and find out all the great attractions in Missouri.
Well, I'm a kid that grew up in Branson, Missouri, so I know all about the tourism down there, but Kansas City, Lake of the Ozarks, St. Louis, the Steelville area where people float our rivers. It's just a great state to play in. And
you bet. My hometown, just south of Salem, Missouri, around Eminence and all the floating rivers there. It's a diverse state with a lot of neat things there.
And the revenue that comes into Missouri. I mean, you see at this time of the year commercials from every state trying to pump vacations to come in here. I can't imagine a state more diverse or more beautiful than the one we're in.
Well, and it's a $13.5 billion industry in Missouri, one of the top 3 largest industries in the state. So it's important to our economy.
And you're enjoying the ball game today. These pitches have settled in nicely, haven't they,
John? Well, they have. I thought I was going to see a pitcher's duel, but it's been pretty interesting so far.
Did you get up during the Final Four and see the people come in St. Louis?
You know what? I was going in another direction, but I watched it on TV, and I'm really proud of what St. Louis has done because we're in the big leagues now. But you and I always knew that St. Louis was America's #1 sports town.
We've known that for years. John Robinson, Director of Tourism, guys, from the state of Missouri. Thank you, John.
Good to be here, man.
All right, thanks, guys. 2 out, nobody on. Brett Osmus, the catcher, is up there. And a 1-1 pitch flared to right. Larry Walker will have to play it on a hop. And the Astros have their 2nd base hit of the day.
Not too many well-hit balls off of Mulder today. He has been using both sides of the plate. We talked about that early on, about how important that was. He threw Osmus the fastball in. Next pitch he tries to go away and just flares one to right field. You know, at some point you got to tip your hat to a hitter when he does something like that.
Well, he
pretty
just
good pitch.
Mulder just went 14 batters between base hits. So that's just fine. Number 8 man Willie Taveras. Mulder would love to get him and make Roger Clemens lead off in the 6th. Willie Taveras is one of their young guys they're getting a good long look at because of Lance Berkman's injury. And this guy can absolutely fly. They don't get a chance here. He had a couple of 50 stolen base seasons, 3 of them in the minor leagues, but Mulder getting the job done. And we're halfway through, folks. Top of the order for the Cardinals. No score.
So do you know what I said?
To the bank guy?
Yeah. I said I wanted free checking with no minimum balance, plus free online bill paying. Plus I want lots of your ATMs so we don't have to worry about those fees. Because I don't think we should have to pay for any of it. And you know what he said?
Goodbye.
He said, we don't think you should pay for it either.
Oh. Free checking with no minimum balance. Plus, plus, plus. From Bank of America. Higher standards.
Flying to Chicago for business? When you choose from any of Southwest Airlines' 11 daily nonstops to Chicago Midway, you can receive double credit and earn a free round trip even faster when you purchase on Southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
What is greater than? Greater power. Greater grip.
all-new Audi A4. More power, under more control. It's greater to lead than follow.
Southwest Airlines nonstop service to over 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom on a magnificent flying day. Skies are starting to clear a little bit over downtown. Going to have a look at our Central Division standings, brought to you by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard. The Cubs, Reds, and Astros are all at 500. The Brew Crew struggling, as are the Pirates. And the Cardinals, the top dogs in the Central, with a record of 10-5 so far. On this day in Cardinal history, it's brought to you by Chevy and American Revolution, supercharged for 2005. We will never forget that night at Dodger Stadium. 2 grand slams in the same inning off the same pitcher.
I think it'd be fair to say that not only is he the first person to ever do that,
he'll be the last.
He'll be the last.
Because I guarantee you, no manager will ever leave a pitcher in long enough to give up 2 grand slams in the same inning ever again.
To the same pitcher.
Yeah. Same pitcher. Amazing. Just Chan-Ho Park.
That's a bad day right there. That's a bad day.
That's when that guy Ernie comes visiting. That's what pitchers called earn runs. Ernies.
Ernie.
There were a lot of Ernies that night at Dodger Stadium.
Not too many Ernies off of this guy. Roger Clemens' ERA now down to .36. If you add the 4 scoreless innings today, he now has 20 innings without giving up a run. He's chasing Oral Hershiser.
There's Ernie. Ernie Hayes at the Yamaha keyboard here at the ballpark. Eckstein hooks one foul. Look out, folks.
A lucky fan caught that ball on the rebound. That's a little tip for you when you're out at the ballpark. Go for the rebound.
Yeah, don't go for it first.
First touch. You don't want the first touch.
Get the little putback, as we call it in hoops. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Eckstein. Hanging tough. David hit the ball hard in the first inning, lined out to the diving Jason Lane and right. His ground ball in the third was dug out of the dirt by Mike Lamb at first.
We just saw it's 1-0 Chicago over Pittsburgh in the 6th inning. What do you think the temperature is there?
Yeah, I was wondering about that earlier. That ball hugging the ground all the way, and Adam Everett covers it well. Eckstein hustling all the way, thrown out by a step. Saturday, May 7th, Cards Padres. All fans will receive a coupon for free admission to Six Flags. That's for children 48 inches and under. And evidently somebody will be measuring them as they come into the ballpark. Well, Walker was expecting a first pitch fastball from Roger Clemens. Every time David Eckstein has led off an inning, the Cardinals have sent 6 men to the plate. Roger Clemens' pitch count right around 90 now. And Walker hoping it goes foul, as it does. By the way, the Astros go to Pittsburgh for 3 after this.
Well, we've mentioned we've had a ton of emails, many emails. Keep sending them in. Our 5th inning interactive question of the day is that all Cardinal pitchers look like big guys, and so does Roger Clemens. Clemens 6'4", Mulder 6'6". Do you absolutely have to be over 6 feet to pitch in the big leagues, or can a shorter guy pitch in the big leagues? This is from Alex Mills from Georgetown, Illinois. And the answer is you can be below 6 feet. Not too many. As Walker swings through a fastball from Roger Clemens. Carmen Cali on the Cardinal roster is just 5'10", but if you do look at the Cardinal pitchers, many of them are tall. Of course, Clemens is and Mulder is. Matt Morris is 6'5". Cali just 5'10", and our own Scott Terry with the WB.
Yeah.
He's about 5'10". He says he's 6 feet, but don't believe him.
Albert chops one foul. So, in other words, major league pitchers have no shot of getting a free coupon on Six Flags Day.
You do have to be 48 inches or taller, but you don't have to be 6 feet. I think about Ron Guidry as one of the best pitchers of the 70s, and he was 5'9". I guess he still is 5'9".
Louisiana Lightning. Albert looks that one all the way in. And the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, there were 2 outs, bases empty the last time Albert batted. He got a base hit to right center. Batting average at .302. Hits it sharply, and it comes up on Ensberg, but he stays with it. Albert is starting to hit the ball hard every time now. Cardinals go in order for the 3rd time today after 5. Nothing on the board.
Save right now at Plaza Tire Service. Basement bargain pricing on name brand radials. Save on radial SUVs only $57.95 each. And name brand radials only $34.99 each. Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit your budget perfectly. Save right now at Plaza Tire Service. Basement bargain pricing on name brand radials. Save on Enduro HDs only $69.95 each. Or General Tire XP 2000s only $59.95 each. Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit your budget perfectly.
Let's go! Nobody else had stow-and-go seating and storage. It's America's best-selling minivan.
With bonus cash.
Got a 5-star side crash test rating.
It's got stow-and-go fold flat seats for me. Lots of storage for him.
I got 0% financing.
Join over 1 million proud new owners during the Dodge Spring Sales Event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. Get 0% financing plus a $1,000 April bonus cash allowance or a no extra charge DVD on Grand Caravan.
I got the Caravan I wanted.
We got a DVD.
Southeast Missouri Hospital, nationally recognized by the American Nurses Credentialing Center with the Magnet Nursing Services Recognition Award. This is the highest level of recognition extended to a nursing service organization and is accepted nationally as the gold standard in nursing excellence. As the region's only Magnet hospital, Southeast is considered to be a national model for patient care. Southeast Missouri Hospital. Commitment to excellence. Trusted care.
AutoTime Parts has been the best in the heartland for more than 90 years, and we're proud to offer quality Napa parts. Our parts professionals can help with all your parts needs, and with over 1 million parts in stock in Cape alone, you'll get the right part the first time. Your local AutoTime Parts Napa store. The parts professionals since 1909.
This portion of Cardinal Baseball and WB11 is brought to you by your Lexus dealer and the new 2006 GS. By your quality Ford dealers and you. Those both equal Cardinal fun. And by Hyundai, driven by a commitment to quality that lets them offer America's best warranty. Well, every day a new celebrity removes a number on the Busch Stadium countdown, and it's Mr. Harry Keogh, the great soccer coach and the great soccer player, one of the Americans that was on that team back in 1950, the World Cup team that beat England, the subject of the new movie that's out, Game of Their Lives, a wonderful film. I understand by reading a review about it yesterday.
Great amount of St. Louis connection to that. Of course, St. Louis has a great soccer tradition.
I believe we had 4 local young men on that team that made soccer history. Then Harry, of course, went on to coach all the great amateur players in the St. Louis area. Lots of great years at St. Louis U.
Did he coach you?
No. I wasn't good enough, but his son Ty was. Ty Keogh, one of the greatest players to come out of St. Louis and a very knowledgeable soccer commentator. And the top of the 6th is underway. It's a ball and 2 strikes to Roger Clemens.
I love the way Mulder is working as this game rolls on. Just 51 pitches through 5 innings. Seems very sharp, not behind anybody.
Clemens with a one-hopper that Mulder spears. That's the second time that Clemens has bounced back to the Cardinal pitcher. We've got more trivia for you. The answer to our Schnucks trivia question. All right, Rick, explain this. What does this mean?
I'm still working on it. But what it means is that the current slope is 33.3 degrees and the new slope is 31.2 degrees. That's my explanation.
Yeah, that University of Virginia degree comes through for us again here on the Cardinal Network.
I already gave you y equals mx plus b. What do you want?
For you Cardinal fans befuddled at home, go to page 26 of the media guide and you can read all about it. Somewhere in there is the reference to 96 arches as well.
And that would have been what I would call the quintessential trivia question. That was very much trivia. In fact, the fifth inning interactive, we had another email come in to say that they were going to donate their hair salon gift certificate to Roger Clemens if we picked them. Thought that was a nice gesture.
They don't like the look, huh?
They must not like Roger's new look, but I like the way Mark Mulder looks on his breaking ball today. He's been good with the fastball, but the breaking ball's been a real good pitch for him.
Strikeout number 5 for Mark. He's only given up 2 hits in 5 2/3. So Adam Everett is gone. Now Craig Biggio. And Biggio is 0 for 2. There's a little game within a game here. Biggio, a smart veteran hitter. He's not going to go up and swing at the first pitch. He knows 2 very quick outs have been made. The first was the pitcher, his pitcher. So he's going to do whatever he can to extend this at bat and make Mulder throw a bunch of pitches. And then he puts it right in play. Boy, that's a quick inning. Albert puts it away. It'll be Edmonds rolling and Cedeno for the Redbirds in the bottom of the 6th. A great pitcher's duel with no score.
The work week may be 40 hours, but the weekend's 48. Busch Light. Busch. Head for the mountains of Busch.
What's new? The all-new 255 horsepower Honda Ridgeline. In addition to its 4-wheel independent suspension, the Ridgeline is the first truck ever built with a lockable in-bed trunk. And if you think that's clever, you probably won't mind its dual-action tailgate and half-ton payload either. So, what's new with you? See the 5-passenger Ridgeline and all the other Honda trucks at your Honda dealer.
Are you still living with the problems of a sinking foundation? You might want to call the experts.
The symptoms of a sinking foundation can be subtle, but the experts at Woods Basement Systems are trained to identify those symptoms. With the Grip-Tight Peering System, they can lift and stabilize your home, all for a lot less time and money than you might expect.
Woods, we fix basements for your peace of mind.
Hey kids, are you a Cardinals fan? Well, don't forget to register at any area Great Clip Salon to be an honorary bat boy or bat girl at a Cardinals game. The contest is open to all kids age 8 through 13. Get a great haircut and register for a great experience as a Cardinals honorary bat boy or bat girl, only at Great Clips.
Cardinal baseball on high definition, brought to you today by Weber Chevrolet and American Electronics. Breeze really blowing toward the river right now. Bottom of the 6th, Edmonds rolling Cedeno for the Cardinals. Shutout on 2 hits by Roger Clemens. And Edmonds takes one low and away. He's been on base twice with an infield hit and a walk. One swing, one long fly ball might decide this one today. Nobody's had a real good swipe at either pitcher.
Doesn't matter if the wind's blowing out if you can't get one up in the wind. Jim Edmonds is the kind of guy that can do it. He's got that great, I say great, he's got a very unique uppercut swing that most hitters don't have, most coaches don't teach, but it works for him. And when he hits under a ball, he's got great lift. He can hit the ball a long way. If he catches up to one of Rogers, it'd be fun to watch.
One thing we probably haven't even talked about regarding the new ballpark is the wind will be much more of a factor there. It will not be completely rounded enclosed stadium like this. There will be some nooks and crannies and some open areas, and new Busch Stadium will play a lot differently than this one does. That's ball 3.
Be fun to watch Jim Edmonds learn all those nooks and crannies as a guy patrolling center field. Best defensive outfielder, I would say, in the National League.
That'll fill the count. Jaden Edmonds is on the verge of flirting with 300. Batting average at .295 right now, and a 3-2 from Clemens. That rattled the cage of Brad Osmus.
You're talking about lifting the ball up in the air. Clemens is a guy who's given up more fly balls here today. 7 outs on the ground, 4 in the air. But Mark Mulder, 10 ground ball outs, only 2 outs in the air. So perhaps that's an advantage Cardinals.
There's our Ford National League scoreboard. You saw that the Cubs have added a run and now lead 2-0. Got him looking. That's outside, says Edmonds. How do you take the bat out of a guy's hand on a pitch away? That was interesting. Because of Cardinal baseball on WB11, back-to-back episodes of What I Like About You can be seen tonight, beginning at 5 here in the St. Louis area, only on WB11.
You got to not like baseball if you don't like this game here this afternoon.
Roland gets jammed. Will the Breeze keep it in play? Yeah. And a one-hander by Mike Lamb for the second out. Roger Clemens has retired 9 consecutive Cardinals since Roland walked back in the 3rd.
And if you do like baseball and like good matchups, this is a great matchup here. But how about the Boston series in June? The 6th, 7th, and 8th, 3 7-10 starts. There are still tickets available for those games. I think a lot of people think they're sold out, but there are still tickets available. Just call the Cardinals charge line and come watch the world champions play the National League champions.
And the Cardinals will have all their guns loaded on the pitching staff this time around. Not to make any excuses, the Red Sox were awesome coming from behind like they did against the Yankees and then sweeping the Cardinals. Defensive swing by Cedeno out of play to the left side. So Monday, June 6th, there are still 3,000 or 4,000 seats left. On Tuesday, the 7th, there are around 5,000 seats left. And then on Wednesday, the 8th, also a night game, about 9,000 seats remain for that, for the Red Sox series.
STLCardinals.com. I suppose you can get your tickets.
You suppose, right? Coca-Cola Family Sunday here tomorrow. Free Hunter hot dog and a Coke with the purchase of a Terrace Reserve ticket for tomorrow's game. There's Cedeno with a great swing and a line drive out to left center. Oh, for one of those when the bases had been loaded. This time Roger does it with 2 outs, bases empty. And that breaks a streak of 9 consecutive retired by Roger Clemens.
Well, that's one of the frustrating things about this game. He left 3 runners aboard in the 1st and in the 3rd innings, and here he hits a line drive to left center off of Roger Clemens. Of course, Clemens is going to pitch him a little bit differently with nobody on base than he is with the bases loaded.
Yeah, the other guy's on scholarship too.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Here's Grzelcyk, who has fanned twice, once looking. He goes the other way. And Cedeno's heading for 3rd. Into the corner, Jason Lane. He did a good job by digging it out quickly. 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. And Molina coming up. How about that? 2 consecutive swings. The Cardinals double their hit total for the day.
Well, Lane goes into the dark right field corner and comes up with that play, and Cedeno knows that if there's any misplay in right field, he can score. He starts to pick up Jose Oquendo right away, and he's running until Oquendo tells him to stop. Any misplay in right field, and it's 1-0.
Astros want to talk about what to do with the number 8 hitter here. All right, Raj, you want to walk this guy and go after the pitcher, or do you want to just go ahead and go after a struggling hitter who is 7 for 48? We'll find out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals, LLC. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals, LLC. They're going to pitch to Molina, and it's strike 1, Cardinal baseball on KPLR TV. St. Louis.
You have to wonder if anywhere in Tony's mind there's the thought of pinch hitting for Molina in this
You're
situation.
watching Cardinal Baseball on WB49 WDKA, Paducah, Kentucky.
Right now, and he's your catcher. You got to let him hit in these situations to work his way out of it. Of course, Clemens is still going to pitch around Molina, even though he's struggling. But John Mabry on the bench, if you bring him in, they're just going to walk him.
And so many managers
You're going to waste your pinch hitter.
So many managers are scared to go to their second catcher this early in a game. Well, Yadier had the right idea. He was thinking right field there. And the count's 1-2. 2 RBIs on the year for the young Cardinal catcher.
Really looks like he's just feeling for his swing right now. He just is not in a groove, and he is almost just kind of flailing at pitches in a way that makes you think he's not seeing the ball well and he's not comfortable. Of course, hitting is so much about timing, and his timing is just out of whack, and it really has been for 2 or 3 weeks. You mentioned how he's added some hits this week, but he's still not there yet.
Very good speed on the bases in Cedeno and Grizzolonic. 1-2. He wouldn't throw a forkball in the dirt, would he? Molina hits one to left. It'll back up Burke just a bit, and the Cardinals have stranded 8 base runners now. We have played 6. Clemens at his best, Mulder at his, and a scoreless game still.
When you make a deposit at your bank, do you know where your money goes? At First Security State Bank, it stays here in the community, creating jobs, supporting small businesses, and providing resources for local families to build a better future. For personal service and helping neighbors realize their dreams, some things are best done locally. Stop by and see us at one of our 3 convenient locations, Caruthersville, Cardwell, or Hornersville, and learn what community banking can mean for you. Banking the way it should be, only at First Security State Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Powerful systems used to share crucial patient information quickly and easily.
Powerful teamwork displayed by skilled emergency medicine physicians and nurses.
Powerful results. St. Francis Medical Center continues to receive high patient satisfaction scores against national benchmarks.
It's power with a purpose. Someday it could save your life.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, and I got 2 words for you. M.E. Silverado. Big fella, what do you drive? Ford F-150. Put the frame on the guy.
Frames, huh? Dodge, Chevy. You want a real frame on the right truck? Ford F-150. That bad boy's fully boxed.
Lease a 4-door 2005 F-150 STX Super Cab for just $199 a month for 24 months.
Ain't no doubt my king of the mountains built Ford tough.
Cardinals in HD on WB11 and the Cardinal Television Network, brought to you by Weber Chevrolet and American Electronics. Bob Carpenter, Rick Horton, Rich Gould, our outstanding men and women of our Bud Sports production crew. Rich has a Rams NFL draft update. Rich, what's happening?
Big day in St. Louis. The Rams needing an offensive tackle to go along with Orlando Pace, and with the pick number 19, they take Alex Barron. He is an offensive tackle out of Florida State, 6'7", 320 pounds. So he is some load. A lot of talk that they were going to get Jamal Brown out of Oklahoma. He was the Outland Trophy winner. Brown went earlier to New Orleans. The Rams with the first pick in the NFL draft, or the 19th pick, first round. Alex Barron, Florida State, gang.
And he is big enough to pitch in the major leagues.
I was just thinking that. You don't have to be 6 feet to pitch, but you do have to be over 300 pounds to play tackle in the NFL, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mike Lamb, Jason Lane, and Morgan Ensberg. Now, if you're an Astro fan and you're hearing an announcer say those are your 3, 4, or 5 hitters, you know the times they are a-changing. Because we're usually talking Bagwell, Beltran, and Kent. 2 of those 3 gone. The other is in the dugout today, as Jeff Bagwell given the day off. And here's a rare fly ball off of Mulder. The only other fly ball out off the bat of a Houston player was Willie Taveras back in the 3rd inning. A fly ball to Cedeno and left. There's Lance Berkman, who hurt his knee in an off-season accident and playing flag football.
He says he's been hitting since spring training. He actually took batting practice today. The real issue for him is running. They're working on being able to cut left and right.
That's a fair ball. Long throw from Rowland. Out at first. He ended up on the warning track after making that throw from deep behind third base.
How about that play by Scott Rowland? Ball hit right down the line. It just goes over the base. Fair ball. He's going backward. And a strong enough throw. Albert Pujols stretches out, probably with the wrong leg. But look at this play by Scott Rowland. It's not that easy to throw a bullet like that when you're going backwards. Wow.
That's our defensive play of the game, brought to you by your Missouri and Illinois Dodge dealers. All right. Just go ahead and give him Gold Glove number 7. That settles it. Pop fly left side. Scott Rowland using his glove to put his eyes in the shade. And that was not easy as the ball went drifting with the breeze. And it's 7th inning stretch time very quickly at Busch Stadium. 12 of 13 retired by Mulder, and a good bit of help from the best third baseman in baseball.
It's jammed or something.
What are you doing?
Step back.
What are you doing in my car?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines from St. Louis to select cities in the Midwest for just $49. Give your gas card a break and fly Southwest.
You are now free to move about the country.
At Days Inns, it's not just about the change we put in your pocket, it's about the change we make in your journey.
Time is running out to get a John Deere and pay nothing until April 2006. That's zero money down, 0% interest, and 0 payments until April 2006. So why wait? Hurry into your local John Deere dealer today.
Because it hauls stuff.
And it just hauls. Nobody else had stow and go seating and storage.
V8 power, 0% financing. You gotta love those numbers.
Smooth ride.
Tons of room.
Bonus cash.
Hurry in now and join over 1 million proud new owners during the Dodge Spring Sales event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. Get 0% financing, package discounts, plus April bonus cash allowance for up to $9,900 on Ram.
Yeah, I got a Hemi. And the deal, sweet.
Hey kids, are you a Cardinals fan? Well, don't forget to register at any area Great Clip Salon to be an honorary bat boy or bat girl at a Cardinals game. The contest is open to all kids age 8 through 13. Get a great haircut and register for a great experience as a Cardinals honorary bat boy or bat girl, only at Great Clips.
Long way to go to do this. When the Cardinals score 7-11, Casino Queen come in the following day for $1 pizzas. 7 today? Are you kidding me? It's the bottom of the 7th, and Mark Mulder leads off against Roger Clemens. And a scoreless game. Cards have 4 hits. The Astros have 2. Pirates just put a 2 on the board in Chicago in the 7th. Cubbies had led 2-2. I want to know who the jokester is who sent copies of this book, Cubs Nation, to the Cardinal broadcast booth.
What are they thinking about?
A new book out called Cubs Nation. What would Al Robosky do with a book like that?
Well, it is a little cold up here. We could start a fire and throw that book into it to warm ourselves up, couldn't we?
Well, I got some Cub fans. I'll probably find one of them and give it to. I'm too busy reading Tony La Russa's new book. Mark Mulder 0 for 8 this year, 1 for 30 as a big league hitter with 1 RBI.
You get too good a swing to be 1 for 31.
Roger Clemens, strikeout number 6. That's how the bottom of the 7th gets underway. Cardinal fans, you can watch live Cardinal games right on your computer if you sign up for MLB.tv. And you can do that at STLCardinals.com. MLB.tv means live baseball. Red read something in the paper yesterday. They're talking about you might be able to take your cell phone now and watch live baseball games on your cell phone in the next couple of years. By the way, our high definition here on WB11 and the Cardinal Network, it's still something we're working out a little bit. We've had a few HD problems today. We want you to know that we've ironed those out. We'll be just fine for the rest of the day and for the rest of the season. And we hope that you folks who have high definition capability are enjoying your expanded view of Busch Stadium and Cardinal baseball. A ball and a strike to 0 for 3 David Eckstein.
With new innovations, there's always a kink here or there. Just trying to make the best picture available to the viewers, and boy, it does look nice, doesn't it? Had a chance to look at some of that in the truck, what the high def looks like.
Rick Horton and Rich Gould in high definition TV. Wow. Takes my breath away.
Oh boy, you're easy to please.
Cardinals need some base runners up here at the top of the order. That's a breaking ball that hangs in the strike zone long enough. Strike 2.
About Clemens, he's working on 23 consecutive scoreless innings, which means just 36 more and he catches Oral Hershiser.
Second time Eckstein's gone up the middle. Everett had him played there both times, and the bases are empty with 2 outs. Cardinal baseball is a production of Bud Sports and an exclusive presentation of WB11. Larry Walker is next.
By the way, I have another trivia question for you, Bob. Who was the losing pitcher in the game that Oral Hershiser got his 59th consecutive scoreless inning in? He broke that record, 59 innings. Who was the losing pitcher?
I don't know.
You know that there's 96 portals here at Busch Stadium, and you don't know that?
I do not.
The answer is me.
Wow.
And what's worse, I was his teammate.
Uh-oh.
He pitched 9 scoreless innings, which made it 59, was pinch hit 4 in the 10th inning in San Diego. I pitched to a couple guys, ended the game in a hurry. And after the game, nobody was talking to me.
Boy, look at Clemens take the bat out of a hitter like Larry Walker's hands. He has retired 13 of the last 15, 12 of 13 for Mulder. And this ball game is in the 8th inning.
To accommodations, why would anyone settle for just 5 stars? Easy drinking Busch Light. Head for the mountains of Busch.
The best tire package in town? You'll find it at Dobbs. Our drive-away tire package includes everything you need. No extra charges. And it features one other small item. The best tire package price in town.
The drive-away tire package at Dobbs. Best price, no extra charges. It's Tire Safety Month at Dobbs. Get into Dobbs for a free tire inspection, free air gauge, plus bring in your teenager for a tire safety quiz. This month, only at Dobbs.
Listen, you can't even hear it. What? The XLI. You have a trained XLI cooling system? Of course it's quiet. It's those galvanized steel louvers. Oh, how rugged. Tell me about it. Climate tough compressor, patented spine fin coil. It might outlast Evelyn's 3rd marriage. What? Oh, next we buy you a baby carriage.
Must be some air conditioner. The Train XLI. It's hard to stop a train.
Call the Train Professional Hotline about a new high-efficiency system. It's hard to stop a train.
Hot pitch of the game brought to you by Hardee's, introducing the Frisco Thick Burger, neutralizing a very good hitter.
Look at that pitch right there. That's not a good swing. Ball moving down and away. And when you can get a hitter the quality of Larry Walker to make a swing like that, you're on your game.
The Frisco is a 3rd pound of Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss on grilled sourdough only at Hardee's. Top of the 8th. Chris Burke, Brad Ausmus, and Willie Taveras for the Astros.
How about the pitch differentiate between these two starting pitchers? Mark Mulder, 70 pitches through 7 innings. That's a Greg Maddux type game, and he does have 5 strikeouts to go along with it. It's not that they're all hitting first ball here. He's just throwing strike after strike. Just 70 pitches through 7.
56 less than Roger Clemens. That ball flaring into the field boxes.
Again, that's where Jason Marquis ran into trouble last night, getting into 113 pitches when he was in his 6th inning of work. The more pitches you throw, the more chance you have of getting in trouble. That's the way I look at it.
Rowland charges, foul ball. Scott Rowland even makes foul balls look spectacular. 6 Gold Gloves at third. Edmonds has 7. Larry Walker has 7.
Well, Rowland goes after this ball, gets a good jump, crosses over, just barely foul. Umpire right on that, Greg Gibson. Rowland not taking any chances, though, tries to keep that ball fair. Once he catches it, doesn't wait for a signal, he just makes a good throw to first. It's all an opportunity to practice.
Oh, Mulder stabs another one. That ball was sharply hit by Chris Burke. And for Mark Mulder, 13 of the last 14 now retired. Next up, the 7-man Ausmus, then number 8 Taveras. It'll be interesting to see what Phil Garner does with Roger Clemens here over the next inning or so. As Rick mentioned, pitch count at 126 through 7.
Well, there's some action in the bullpen. If there is a runner aboard, I'd have to believe they would pinch hit for Clemens. He has 123 pitches so far. Looks like that may be Chad Qualls warming up in case that happens. They're certainly going to pitch hit for him if there's a runner in scoring position. The Astros bullpen was pretty good here yesterday. Dan Wheeler in particular was lights out. Tony talked about the job he did. Really eye-popping stuff. Russ Springer, former Cardinal, also pitched well.
Fly ball to center. Another low pitch out for Mulder. Willie Taveras will be next with 2 outs and the bases empty. Today's high definition telecast brought to you by Weber Chevrolet and American Electronics. Two decisive innings might be when the Cardinals made Clemens throw 29 pitches in the first inning and 31 in the third. In the third inning, he had 2 outs, bases empty.
Both times Roger Cedeno had the opportunity to do damage. Hit the ball hard the first time to left center field and just tapped the ball back to Clemens. Left 6 runners stranded in 2 at-bats.
Mulder's had Willie Taveras swinging early and often in the count today. You might say Roger's hungry for another hit out there.
Doing a little repair.
I don't think they're going to get Taveras. He can just trot to first base. You know what? That little infield hit might end up helping the Cardinals. Roger Clemens is gone. Looks like Jose Vizcaíno walking to the plate.
I'm with you on that one. I just assumed Clemens be out of this game. Probably just had an inning left anyway. But Phil Garner forced to shuffle the paper in front of him and come up with a pinch hitter. And it's going to be the veteran Jose Vizcaíno.
Clemens struck out 6, walked 4, but he didn't walk anybody after the third inning. 126 pitches, 79 strikes, and 23 consecutive scoreless now?
23, and his earned run average is now at 0.32.
Wow.
And he only, if the Astros don't score here, has one win to show for it in his 4 starts.
Yeah, I don't think the Houston offense is going to allow Roger Clemens to win 20 games this year. Not nearly the club they have been. Jose Vizcaíno still rolling along as a Houston Astro here at the age of 37. He's been with Houston for 5 seasons now. That is his longest tenure in the big leagues. Dodgers, Cubs, Mets, Giants, Cleveland, Dodgers again. And he's been a Houston Astros since 2001.
0-2. If you're going to win 20 games, speaking of Clemens and this new Astro offense, if you're going to win 20 games, you need 2 things. One, you need a potent offense, but you also need a good guy down there in the bullpen, really a good bullpen from top to bottom that can save you games and win games for you. A lot of times you leave a game and it's 3-2 or 4-2, and the Astros with Brad Lidge certainly have the stopper down there.
That they do. He is nasty. By the way, Tavares could be doing some running here, but the count's not in his favor. He stole 257 bases in 6 years in the minor leagues, over 50 3 consecutive seasons. 0-2, 0-3, and then again last year. So he can fly. He was at the AA level last year, Round Rock, Texas, where he swiped 55 while batting .335. And he has stolen 5 bases in 6 attempts at the major league level.
And if Tavares is either picked off or thrown out stealing, that does not mean that Roger Clemens gets to keep pitching.
He can't come back.
Once the batter is introduced, Roger is in the shower. Your day is over.
Runner goes, and a foul right back here.
Down with the B's. Up with the magical M's. Somebody thought long and hard about that one.
There have been a lot of killer bees. The originals, of course, were Bagwell and Biggio, and then Derek Bell joined him. He left, then Lance Berkman showed up, and then Beltran. They've had this bee thing going for a lot of years.
Think they think about that on draft day?
And a little grounder to the right side, handled by Grzelcyk. We're going bottom 8. Mark Mulder brilliant today. It'll be Pujols, Edmonds, and Rowland for the Cardinals.
McDowell Ford, you win. McDowell Ford.
At McDowell Ford in Perryville, you'll win. New and pre-owned cars and trucks like F-250s, Escapes, and the all-new Ford 500. And just in, program trucks at winning prices from Rangers up to dualies. McDowell still has lots of 05s rolling in. You can still find that new car or truck you're looking for. Great selection, award-winning service. Just a couple of reasons we say,
you win. McDowell Ford.
In the last several years, a big breakthrough has been made in the treatment of cancer. The name of the treatment is IMRT, and it is producing significant cures with less side effects. The reason that IMRT is such an advancement is that by dynamically shaping the beam, we can give less radiation to the surrounding tissues and higher doses of radiation to the tumor.
Southern Illinois Cancer Center, just off Highway 13, behind Egyptian Revival in Carterville.
Wouldn't it be nice to keep an eye on things from anywhere? AVN. With a camera system from Audio Video Networking, you can put all your worries to rest. Audio. View live or record a video locally or remotely from any broadband connection. Video. Provide security for your employees as well as your business. So call today for your free consultation and see what AVN has to offer. Networking. Audio Video Networking. Technology made simple.
Hey fans, here is something special and fun that we are doing this year. Mark your calendars for November 13th. Join us with Andy Van Slyke, Scott Terry for the first ever Seeing Red cruise brought to you by WB11. We're leaving from New Orleans and heading to Montego Bay, the Grand Cayman Islands, and Cozumel, Mexico. There'll be autograph sessions and special private functions for WB11 viewers. You won't want to miss this. Packages start at only $510 per person. So call now at 314-995-9475 for more details. We hope to see you on board. Our call to the bullpen is brought to you by Fast Eddie's Bon Air. Big Elwood on a stick, only $1.99, or peel and eat shrimp from Mexico. The biggest shrimp around, just 29 cents. Remember, you must be 21 to get in, and Chad Qualls is on to face the heart of the Cardinal order.
Albert's 1 for 3 today with a base hit. Back in the third. He's hit the ball sharply his last 2 times.
Must be like a vacation here, hitting against Chad Qualls after Roger Clemens.
We'll see. Fly ball, left field, well hit. It's going to stay in the park right at the 372 mark for Chris Burke. Well, first batter up in the post-Clemens era today, flirting with the wall. That's farther than anybody's hit one.
You said this game could be won by a long one. Let's see if these fans are happy. On their feet. There it goes. Oh. Not this time. Jim Edmonds and Scott Rowland have done it before, though, haven't they?
Lots of times. Edmonds with a base hit, a walk today, 1 for 2.
Qualls actually got beat around a couple of times pretty good last year by the Cardinal offense, but this year he's off to a great start. 1.86 ERA in his 8 games. Not giving up very many hits, and just 1 walk and 7 strikeouts in his 9 innings in 2005.
26-year-old right-hander from California. Second round of the draft 5 years ago by the Houston club. And a 2-1 to Edmonds. Jim lays off the high heater, which he will sometimes tomahawk out of here. Got over the top of that one, right into the glove of Lamb, who was really guarding the line. Bases empty, 2 outs. Scott Rowland next.
Enjoyed watching Brad Lidge pitch last year, but I just as soon not see him here this weekend. Usually that means the Astros have a lead late in the game. He has 5 saves already this season, but I just marvel at his stuff. And there's another piece of the Astros bullpen, the venerable John Franco.
No left-hander in Major League history with more saves.
Been tricking him for a long time. Actually was drafted by the Dodgers. Came up through the Dodger organization, was a starting pitcher, and somebody along the line decided to put him in the bullpen. And has just had wonderful years with Cincinnati, probably his best years, but most recently with the Mets. Now the only left-hander in the Astros bullpen. They had 3 lefties this year. Franco's the only one this year. All the other guys they sent to AAA. They have 5 left-handed relievers now in AAA.
How about that?
Waiting for John Franco to get old.
Well, they might keep on waiting. He's got 424 saves. Scott Rowland today 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. That's your prevent extra base hit outfield defense there. The shallowest of the 3 is Jason Lane and right. 3-2 to Rowland. Ooh, he had a pitch up.
Oh, I bet he won't throw that again. That was the hanging breaking ball. Hanging just enough. It wasn't too high in the strike zone. It was about belt high. Spin, 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 hit me. And Scott does not miss that pitch very much. Ooh.
And he strikes out on a high fastball, and the Cardinals are gone in the 8th. Top of the order for the Houston Astros. How long can Mark Mulder keep on going? No score.
For the record, a fan's love of the race has no finish line. Busch beer. For 24 years running. Proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series.
So do you know what I said?
To the bank guy?
Yeah. I said I wanted free checking with no minimum balance, plus free online bill paying. Plus I want lots of your ATMs so we don't have to worry about those fees. Because I don't think we should have to pay for any of it. And you know what he said?
Goodbye.
He said, we don't think you should pay for it either.
Oh. Free checking with no minimum balance. Plus from Bank of America. Higher standards.
Chevy Silverado half-ton extended cab. More standard payload than Ford F-150 Super Cab to hold all your stuff. More towing capacity than Toyota Tundra Access Cab to haul it all away. Now you can get a 2005 Silverado LS Crew Cab for around $299 a month with Smart Buy financing. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Chevy Silverado Extended Cab. An American revolution. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer.
Have you tried Quiznos mesquite chicken with bacon sub for just $3.99? When my molars grow in, rawr, I'm all over it.
Get our mesquite chicken with bacon sub for just $3.99. Quiznos. Toasty.
Well, we think today's player of the game is Mark Mulder. Brought to you by Budweiser. Bright, crisp, clean, pure. The king of beers. He has matched Roger Clemens better than pitch for pitch today. He has outlasted Roger Clemens, and he just got his first out in the 9th inning on a fly ball by Adam Everett.
That wasn't a hard choice right there for Mulder to be our star of the game. Really, no matter how this game turns out, the starting pitcher can only do so much, and he's done everything he can do to give the Cardinals a chance to win this game. At some point, he's going to have to give it up to the bullpen, or somebody's going to have to drive in a run for him. Could it be in the bottom of the 9th?
It could be him. Here's Biggio. Craig is 0 for 3 today with a grounder, a strikeout, and a pop-up. Mark Mulder has retired 16 of the last 18 Houston hitters. Roger Clemens retired 13 of his last 15 Cardinal batters. Boy, wicked stuff low in the strike zone and still throwing the ball by people in the 9th inning.
We have to remember that Jeff Bagwell still looms on the bench for the Houston Astros. Been given the day off today.
Had him reaching. Cardinals played him perfectly up the middle. And Grzelcyk throws out Craig Biggio. Our post-game show's coming up when this one is over. And with a preview from WB11, here's Don Bell. It'll be Mike Lamb. Thank you, Don. 2 outs in the 9th, and Mulder continues to impress. Rick, where's his pitch count right now?
Well, he was just at 91 before the last batter. That's really just 92 pitches now total.
Wow.
That's a nice 9 innings of work, isn't it?
Good jam job on the left-handed batter. There's Jeff Bagwell. Looking at a start as he off to this year, hitting only .207, couple of homers and 9 RBIs. He's been on this club with Craig Biggio since 1991.
He'd still be a scary guy to be facing, 206 or not. If he's batting here in the 9th inning, I'd be kind of concerned.
Boy, they cannot lay off the low stuff of Mulder. He pitches 9 innings with right around 95 pitches. Coming up for the Cardinals, it'll be Cedeno, Grizzolonic, and Molina in a scoreless game.
This is it. Hyundai's once-a-year spring sales event with up to $3,500 cash back on select models and limited-time-only savings on the V6 Hyundai Santa Fe. Feature-packed, and the winner is Strategic Vision's 2004 Total Quality Award. That award-winning quality lets Hyundai offer America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. But you have to hurry. The event ends May 2nd, only at your Hyundai dealer. See your Hyundai dealer for up to $3,500 cash back before time runs out.
You work with your hands, but you work on your feet. Comfort, durability, protection. These are the things you've got to have when you go to work every day. Lorraine Shoes has the biggest selection of safety toe boots and shoes in the area. With over 200 styles to choose from, let Lorenz put a boot on you that fits your style, your foot, and your wallet. Are you dependable? Should your boots be dependable too? Lorraine Shoes, 17 West St. Joseph, on the Square in Perryville, 121 South High in Jackson, or shop online at workbootstore.com.
Take a look at Ford Expedition, one of the best-selling brands of sport utility vehicles, and you'll see more room for you and your stuff with best-in-class cargo space. Available with the most fuel-efficient V8 engine ever used in an Expedition. And the versatility that only an available powerful third-row seat can give you. And right now, lease a 2005 Expedition XLT for just $399 a month for 24 months. Visit your local Ford dealer today. Ford, built for the road ahead.
What is greater than? Greater power.
Cardinal baseball on WB11, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Nonstop service to over 59 destinations all across the country. A symbol of freedom. Here's Cedeno. Bottom of the 9th, strike 1. Chad Qualls still out there for the Houston Astros. Roger 1 for 3 with a base hit to left center last time. Cardinals have only had base runners in 3 innings, and they've stranded all 8 of them.
If you're wondering about the power on the Cardinals bench, Reggie Sanders, John Mabry, been known to hit a home run or 2.
Breaking ball get in on the hands of the left-handed batter.
Could they be the ones to make the difference in this game? There's John. He's got a bat in his hand. You know, all hitters always carry a bat in their hand.
And another severe jam job, and Cedeno fouled that one off his body. Rick, is it called pounding a guy inside when you do it with breaking stuff too?
Yeah, it's still pounding him in, because a lot of times this is what results. That ball was really just a line drive off his shin. If the ball's coming in on you and that hits off that bat angle a lot of times, and if the ball's going down, sinking, you have a tendency to hit that ball off the bottom of the bat right off your foot, and I'm telling you, that really hurts. If you've never done this before, you're not expecting it to happen, so it surprises you more than anything else. But if it hits you right on the bone, it hurts. I mean, it really does. And you know you're going to live, but you don't feel like hitting. And of course, the pitcher's thinking, I know you're hurting too. I'm going right back in there, and just see how scared you might be.
Yeah, he does. Down and in. And the Cardinals first out here in the bottom of the 9th. Second strikeout in a row by Chad Qualls, who's retired all 4 he's faced. So counting the way Roger Clemens finished and the way Qualls has gone here.
I'm seeing an improved breaking ball from Chad Qualls from last year. He did not really have that sharp a off-speed pitch, at least when I saw him pitch.
17 of the last 19 Cardinals retired. Last man to get a hit, Grizzolonic's double down the right field line in the 6th.
It was a pretty good all-star game rematch, wouldn't you say, Mark Mulder and Roger Clemens? If you missed that game in 2004, you got to see a pretty good rematch here this afternoon.
They were both better this time.
No doubt.
And a strike to Grizzolonic. It's 2-1. Mark 1 for 3. Ball game just over 2 hours and 20 minutes old in the bottom of the 9th of a scoreless game. Grizzolonic got a pitch up, and this one headed for the seats. Mark Grizzolonic has not hit a homer this year. He has 66 big league homers in 10 years.
Jason Isringhausen is ready to pitch the 10th inning. Cardinals bullpen a little bit depleted here last night because of Jason Marquis getting into a little trouble, throwing a lot of pitches, needed to go to Flores, and then Reyes struggled, and then Julian Tavares came in to get his 2+ innings. Had that not happened, you might be seeing Tavares right here.
Broken bat on a ground ball to third. Ensberg, low throw, and again Lamb with a good pick over there, his second nice play of the day. Yadier Molina being called back, and Abraham Nunez will bat for the Cardinals here. Tony needs, well, he would have a choice here. You go with a big power hitter who might blast one out of the ballpark, or a guy with speed who might find a way to get on base.
I think there's going to be part of a double switch potential here too, with the pitcher spot leading off the next inning.
And that crack bat brought to you by Woods Basement Systems. If you have a crack in your foundation, call the experts at Woods. Foundation and wet basement repairs.
Not quite the same crack as we saw earlier when we saw the bat fly at the feet of Mark Mulder. Look back on that, just thankful that was not worse. Mulder didn't seem to be too phased by that as he just mowed down the Astros here.
That he did. 18 of the last 20 retired. Nunez 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year. And Lamb figured as long as the batter stopped running, I'll just see if this thing might do something crazy and come back fair. It did not, and the count's even 1-1. They're still 2-2 in Chicago. Pirates got 2 in the top of the 7th. Mets hammering the Nationals today 10-4 against Tomooka. They put 4 on the board in the 4th and 6 more in the 5th. Boy, Quall's really working over the left-handed batters, jamming them severely. Marlins have beaten the Reds 4-2. And they're underway in San Fran. Brewers no score against the Giants in the bottom of the 2nd. And a little soft liner into the glove of the pitcher. Now the pitchers are doing it all today. The Cardinals have not played an extra inning game this year until right now. We're heading for the 10th. No score at cool, cold Busch Stadium.
Welcome to California.
We run.
We rip.
We fly.
We swing.
We believe. We believe in Nirvana. We rock!
And we've got our own motto.
So come on. Come on.
Come on. Listen to my wife.
Find yourself in California. Southwest Airlines is taking low fares farther with 62 daily flights from St. Louis to these cities.
You are now free to move about the country.
Are your eyes open? So are we.
There's more than one way to make a shake. And we admit, their way is more efficient. But when was the last time you sipped a shake and said, that tastes efficient?
Well, you've completed your grill training, so I'm proud to make you one of us.
Does that mean I'm ready to make hamburgers?
Steak and Shake.
Cardinal baseball on WB11 brought to you by Southwest. Nonstop service to over 59 destinations across the country. By Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. By Steak and Shake. Real steak burgers, real milk milkshakes 24 hours a day. By your Mid-America Chevy dealers. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer today. MidAmericaChevy.com. By Dobbs, your exclusive broadcast tire dealer of Cardinal baseball. By your local Toyota dealer. And by American, your headquarters for HD TV, selection, expertise, and the everyday low price. In the shadow of the arch, the top of the 10th. And Mark Mulder is still pitching for the Cardinals. And it's by the glove of Roland. Jason Lane's a good base runner, but he will stop on a strong play in left field by Roger Clemens.
First leadoff base runner since the 4th inning. Cedeno runs it down in the corner. He's still got good wheels to get to the ball. Make sure that doesn't turn into a leadoff double. Mark Mulder has been so spectacular here today. And how about the round of applause he received here from the Cardinal fans who know this game and actually stood up and gave him a standing ovation as he came out to pitch the 10th inning.
That was really something to see. A standing O for a guy still in the game.
There's a great look at Brad Lidge, who really came into his own last year as the short man for the Astros. He throws real hard.
Yeah, he answered the "what are they going to do without Billy Wagner" question.
Yeah, I'll say.
Morgan Ensberg hasn't hit the ball out of the infield today. Astros, at least so far, not showing any indication of just moving the runner over. And now it's a strike 2 count.
Talk about indications of the way people are swinging at certain pitches. I mean, the indication on that last pitch right there is Mark Mulder still throwing well, because that was just nothing but a fastball down in a way that Ensberg just barely got a swing at, almost like he didn't see the ball at all. Shows Mulder still has good stuff here in the 10th.
15 ground ball outs today.
Ensberg has the ability to hurt you. Last night, home run off of Julian Tavares, and Tavares does not give up very many. He hit one to dead center here, and Ensberg has shown power in his career despite a power outage at the beginning of last season. He's got the ability to change this game in a hurry. Got a fastball up from Tavares. He said he saw the ball. Doesn't normally see the ball well against Tavares, but he just saw it. It's all about vision, he said. And let's hope he's not picking up the ball from the left-hander Mulder here in the 10th.
I'd like to salute our Bud Sports crew, especially those guys working outside with the camera positions around Busch Stadium today. We've got a roof over our heads. Those guys don't. They've been exposed to this bitter cold all day long. 43 degrees at game time. And a great job, guys. The hot chocolate's on Rick and me after the game.
And Bob will get you a sweatshirt for tomorrow's game.
Yeah, I take care of my buddies.
All right, I'll get it for him. There's James. Smile, James.
Tony goes to James for all of his moves. I guess I haven't reached that part in the book yet, though.
Well, he's not going to divulge that in a book. People might read it and know it. And they'll be eyeballing James when they're trying to see if the hit and run's on.
0-2 to Ensberg. Runner at first. Top of the 10th. Double play ball. Grizzolonic, Eckstein. 17 ground ball outs now.
Wow, is this a nice piece of defense? Eckstein over top of the sliding Jason Lane. Gets enough on the throw to turn a double play. Taylor made double play. Mark Mulder just outstanding.
And all of you folks out there who've been on the website and the fan forums and the chat rooms busting on Mark Mulder. Get out the scissors and cut those threads right now. Magnificent today. He had done everything else but throw a double play ball. So he finally gets one here. And the bases are empty with 2 outs in the 10th. Chris Burke, the batter, and he's 0 for 3. Out to center. Edmonds is there.
Nice job.
Pitcher spot 2 up, bottom of the 10th, and they're standing again for the best Cardinal pitching performance of the year so far.
Save right now at Plaza Tire Service. Basement bargain pricing on name brand radials. Save on radial SUVs only $57.95 each. And name brand radials only $34.99 each. Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit your budget perfectly. Save right now at Plaza Tire Service. Basement bargain pricing on name brand radials. Save on Enduro HDs only $69.95 each. Or General Tire XP 2000s only $59.95 each. Plaza Tire Service. Tires that fit your budget perfectly.
When you make a deposit at your bank, do you know where your money goes? At First Security State Bank, it stays here in the community, creating jobs, supporting small businesses, and providing resources for local families to build a better future. For personal service and helping neighbors realize their dreams, some things are best done locally. Stop by and see us at one of our 3 convenient locations, Caruthersville, Cardwell, or Hornersville, and learn what community banking can mean for you. Banking the way it should be, only at First Security State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Southeast Missouri Hospital, nationally recognized by the American Nurses Credentialing Center with the Magnet Nursing Services Recognition Award. This is the highest level of recognition extended to a nursing service organization and is accepted nationally as the gold standard in nursing excellence. As the region's only Magnet hospital, Southeast is considered to be a national model for patient care. Southeast Missouri Hospital. Commitment to excellence. Trusted care.
Bottom of the 10th inning, Reggie Sanders will lead off and pinch hit for Mark Mulder, who throws 10 shutout innings on only 4 hits, did not walk a batter. That's how you keep your pitch count down. Struck out 5, and he had a double play ball.
Didn't get even deep into too many counts, as Reggie Sanders will be the pinch hitter. He has 4 home runs on the season. Got quite a challenge here in facing the closer. I'm sorry, Qualls is still in the game. Lidge is up throwing in the bullpen, but I suspect we're going to see him any sign of trouble.
Yeah, Qualls has been so dominant. Cardinals have only hit 1 ball out of the infield on him, and that was Albert Pujols flying to the track in left center. 101 pitches for Mark Mulder in 10 innings. An amazing total by today's standards. Reggie late for that heater. Wow.
Like to see that man Albert Pujols come up with a runner in scoring position here in the Cardinal 10th.
Look out. Reggie was set to dive. He thought he might get another nasty one away.
Albert just waiting for his opportunity.
Well, the manager with the young player he's called the best he's ever managed. Amazing praise by a future Hall of Fame manager.
He doesn't throw that around lightly either.
No. Reggie taps one. This is going to be a base hit. Now you've got a guy with good speed at first base. They'll have to hold him. Eckstein likes to shoot the ball around the field. We could see a bunt. Lots of possibilities here.
Well, any way you look at this is just a lucky break for the Cardinals, as Reggie protecting against another tough pitch from Chad Qualls, just beats it into the ground. And the Cardinals have speed on the base pass, which is a good reason to have Reggie Sanders as your pinch hitter in that situation. If he gets aboard, he can do damage with his legs also.
David Eckstein led the American League in sacrifice bunts 2 years in a row. So he's one of the best bunters in the game. He does not have a sacrifice bunt as a Cardinal.
Now the third baseman's going to charge. The first baseman's going to hold, and he's going to charge. And the pitcher's going to charge.
And Eckstein's going to lay off a high fastball that's tough to bunt.
When everybody knows it's a bunt situation, they are charging very hard. They're going to do everything they can to get the runner at second. Again, it's important that the Cardinals have somebody with the speed of Reggie Sanders aboard to make this a difficult play, but they're going to try to get the ball as close to home plate as they can and try to get that lead runner at second base.
Runner going on a hit and run. That's as good as a bunt. You can count on Eckstein to make contact in that situation. It'll go down as an official at bat, but everybody in the dugout knows better.
Well, everybody's going to charge hard, and David Eckstein just has to hit the ball on the ground somewhere. Reggie's going to get the second base. No chance to get the lead runner. Just make contact, hit the ball on the ground, and it looks like Brad Lidge is now going to enter the game as Phil Garner goes out to talk to Chad Qualls, but you've got to say Qualls did a pretty nice job here as well.
Things are about to get very interesting here in the bottom of the 10th. Walker up with first base open, Pujols, Edmonds, and Brad Lidge on the way.
Appleman Podiatry is dedicated to the relief of foot and ankle problems. Maybe your first thoughts are of ingrown toenails and bunion treatment, but did you know that the Applemans can also help treat many of these more common ailments? Your body structure is only as solid as its foundation. Trust yours to Appleman Podiatry.
Your first step to comfort, Appleman Podiatry.
For 20 years, Davis Glass has offered their talents with the most breakable elements to local commercial projects. With their new location, Davis Glass opens their doors to serve local customers one-on-one. Davis Glass can also repair mirrors, windows, picture frames, fireplace doors, anything glass, as small as a chip, as large as a total replacement. Davis can also help with remodeling and new residential, including custom and one-of-a-kind glass installation. Davis Glass even repairs auto glass.
Call or come by and visit us today at Davis Glass.
At Cape GMC Pontiac, our dealership may be a little older, but our overhead is definitely a lot lower. That's how we were able to develop our new low overhead pricing, saving you big money on every new Pontiac and GMC truck. While some dealers have to charge you more for their new fancy buildings, Cape GMC Pontiac offers great value at a much lower price. Our dealership has been paid for years. This is Steve Ramey inviting you to visit us today at Cape GMC Pontiac and experience savings like never before.
This month is Truck Month at the 4 Weber locations. Take advantage of their Silverado special. Starting at just $209 a month with 0 down. Weber Chevrolet, the best selection, the best deals.
Well, Lidge comes on with the Cardinals winning run on second base. 1-0 record, 1.04 ERA. The big number for him is 15 strikeouts in just 8 innings. He is the ultimate power pitcher. Got a good hard slider, a very hard fastball. Larry Walker will be his first hitter with first base open and 1 out in the 10th.
Walker 7 times in his career has hit a walk-off homer. Will he even get a chance to swing the bat?
I wouldn't even mind a walk-off 2-base error somewhere. Take that.
Now, earlier this year, of course, in a game here, the Reds walked Larry Walker to pitch to Albert Pujols, who hit the ball sharply, but did ground into a game-ending double play. 1 out, winning run at second, and Walker takes one off the plate inside. Always the impending possibility of a runner's decision at third base by Jose Oquendo.
The outfield is playing at a depth where they can perhaps have a chance of throwing out Reggie Sanders at home and playing very shallow for Larry Walker.
There's a drive. Right center. Running after it is Tavares. Can't get there. Sanders around third. Cardinals win 1-0 in 10. wasn't a walk-off homer, but it's a celebration double. What a game for Mulder. He gets the win, and so do the Cardinals.
My all-new Grand Cherokee's 4x4 of the year.
5-star side crash test rating and 0% financing.
We got a great lease.
More cargo. Bonus cash. More adventure.
Join over 1 million proud new owners during the Jeep Spring Sales event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. Get 0% financing plus an April bonus cash allowance that can save you up to $7,000 on Liberty.
I got a sweet deal on my new Liberty. It's a legend.
Introducing new sippable Sunday milkshakes, such as turtle caramel nut. As we introduce these new sippable sundaes, we've observed there's also a need to introduce alternative reactions to them, beyond the standard unimaginative ooh, as follows.
Whoa. Man, oh man, oh man. Great Scott.
Steak and Shake with new sippable Sunday milkshakes. Look out now.
Time is running out to get a John Deere and pay nothing until April 2006. That's 0 money down, 0% interest, and 0 payments until April 2006. So why wait? Hurry into your local John Deere dealer today.
Now, an incredible offer from Gillette. Try Sensor 3 disposable for free. 3 blades on springs that adjust to your face. Now try Gillette's best disposable shave free for a limited time. See your Sunday paper for details.
What is greater than? Greater power. Greater grip. The all-new Audi A4. More power. Under more control. It's greater to lead than follow.
Big hit of the game brought to you by Jeep. Trail-rated capability only in a 4x4.
Well, it's a big hit against the other team's best. Larry Walker gets a fastball, drives it into the right center field gap. The outfield playing short because they wanted a chance to throw out Reggie Sanders at home, but Larry Walker delivers. What a great game here this afternoon. Larry Walker ending with a big hit. Great performance by Mark Mulder.
And the Cardinals with a chance to sweep Houston tomorrow. The Redbirds are 11-5, and Mark Mulder gets the win with 10 great innings. We're right back with you. 1 o'clock tomorrow on WB11. It'll be Matt Morris for the Cardinals against the Astros. For Rich and